No.
Why?
What the fuck is going on tonight?
Why?
Hello.
I guess I could sit right here.
It's up to you. Hello, my name is Brandy. This is Brandon the Killer, and we're having technical difficulties in this motherfucker,
A
so...
lot of them.
A lot of them. So, we're just going to be recording on here, just our podcast, so... Just so we'll have video
I used to
records
have
of
this
it.
rug in my old house.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did I
got it
sound
at
so
Big
weird
Lots.
when I said really?
I got it at Big Lots.
Just shoot me, because I'm fucking retarded. We got one person. Yay! Go on and
Who is
share
it?
this.
Who's the one person?
I don't even know. Allow your viewers to request to join you as a guest. I don't even know. We're gonna tag some people. As soon as I figure it out, guys. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, we got two.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. We're about to do this podcast. Don't mind me. We're just really not together. Well, I'm not. Haley came prepared.
I really didn't.
I, on the other hand, did not. How the fuck do I do? You know what, guys? Y'all gonna come with me. Because I feel like...
Do I need to move over there again? Or should I, am I good
No,
here?
I think we can get it. I'm just gonna record you. I'll figure it out.
Can't you push it back? Push like the neck of it. No, like keep it where it is, but just push
Oh,
the...
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
See, this is why you are a part of this, because I'm stupid. Alright. It's this thing that keeps throwing me off. Hello, Tina. We're about to go live on our podcast. Can you add your group? Or do you
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay. Haley is my friend.
Hi.
And we've known each other for 100 years, and yeah, she's fucking
Has
funny.
it been 100 years?
It's not been 100 years. Maybe
How many
like
years has it been?
Bad Dog MMA days.
I met you when you were, I think you were pregnant with Bailey.
with Bailey. So she's 8. Yep. She's 8 now. It's my
So that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck. And she's married to Dusty, and I got married last year. Shit, 1 year. Hold on.
Yeah, we used to be fight groupies together.
We did. We'd be out there cheering. Bad Dog MMA on.
Rest
Oh
in
shit!
peace.
R.I.P. The BG. Bad. I did it wrong. Delete. Don't delete me. Be my friend.
Alright, now I gotta figure out how to share this.
So the funny thing about this is now we're gonna have to record.
Oh god. It's okay. It's gonna be a shit show. I'm completely,
I feel like I need to go live in that one.
I'm completely prepared
Can
for
your
that.
people
Live in
see
what
me?
one?
You know what? Hello, people. But I went to... Okay, so I have a group that I linked to this one. If I went live in that group that I linked, and it's a private... It's a public group, I think. I think it's a public group. If I got off here and went to that one...
Why would you get off here, though?
It just has more people in that group. I think I got 400 people.
Well, can't you share this live into your...
Oh, you know what?
Go to your Brandon the Killer Facebook page.
Oh,
Click on your live, click share now, and then you can share it to a
It should
group.
tell me, yeah.
Because I shared it into my group.
She's wild. I feel bad now.
Yeah, I don't know if I shared it to my page or not.
My cat's heart is about to give out, Nom. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that.
She's gonna die.
She's not. I mean, yeah, she is. But we're just going to keep her close to us. Let's see. I'm going to find.
Sorry, guys. We are having technical difficulties.
We are. But you know what?
Technical difficulties, mental difficulties.
I'm dyslexic. Dyslexia. She's doing too much over there. Where is this? Haley is more organized than me because I'm over here like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know where you're getting all this information
I feel like she's more put together than I am. She said, hey ho. Hey.
Who?
Stephanie, your friend.
Oh, hi, Stephanie.
I just remember her name because I know when I see her name, I feel like you're there somewhere.
I feel like you're there somewhere. Yeah,
you can be my friend, Stephanie.
Sometimes we are one person.
I think you would love me.
I think y'all would get along. Definitely.
Yes, most definitely. I love everybody. What the fuck, Brandy? I must be... Damn.
What's going on?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Are you going live on your laptop too?
I mean, I could I?
I think you should just share it.
Yeah.
Why are you on that though?
I have no idea.
Go to your Branded a Killer page.
Okay, so I'm on Branded a Killer right here. Somebody named Dana is in here. I'm on, but my group.
I'm saying go to that page where your video is.
Where my live is right now,
yes,
right?
So
see, I was worried that it would mess it up on here, but it won't, right?
No.
Alright, it'll just show on here.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now go to your share.
Okay.
And then share it.
I'm interneting, you guys. You would think that I wouldn't. I know this.
And then hit more options.
Oh, share. More options.
Now, yeah, to a group. Share to a group.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't figure out the YouTube live.
Yeah, we've had some fucking. We tried to go, yeah. And they blocked us. They said, no, they said I didn't have the equipment to actually do that. So
we're working with one mic.
And we got one mic because we couldn't figure out how to do two. Now, if you guys know how to do two, you can just tell us because we're tired of fucking dealing with it. Oh my God. It's going to put me in.
Okay, now you search for your group. I don't know if you can if it'll just pop up or not.
Right. Don't play me. Go. Go. Oh my gosh. I think my computer's just old and being slow.
Can you type, where's the search for groups? Can you type your group name in there?
Yeah. There we go. We'll get this set up.
Okay. Now it should be in your group because that's what I did with mine.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
This is a very cool podcast, and it's called Branded a Killer. And I'm trying to poach Haley to be my other person on here because she's being poached.
Please poach me. Poach me, baby.
Okay. So it's shared automatically. I don't have to worry about doing none of that shit.
No, it'll just play through on your group.
Okay.
As long as you have it. I didn't mean to say that last part. That was stupid.
Oh, no, you're fine. I do shit like that all the time.
It's going to stay there as long as you have it. Like
forever. That's what you said.
What?
Oh, yes, this is cool. Okay, so... maybe we should test one more time while we're right here since we moved it. You think I should?
I guess. It's not, well, okay, it won't fucking take up.
See, my thing is I'm so crazy over everywhere that
I'll be trying. You're not even on the camera, really. You gotta, like, lean in.
Here, maybe I should.
There you go. It's all good.
I feel like I'm breathing real hard. Like, oh, okay. Move. Testing.
1, 2, 3.
We just made a beat. All right.
Testing.
Okay, you can hear
We're
both
good.
of us.
We're good. We're ready to select this one more time.
Yeah, I gotta shut down and restart.
I'm new to Audacity,
Power
so
down, power up.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Because I would mostly just record off my phone. And then I just started, when Haley came over here, I just started doing shit.
Oh no, we did try to Google it, Stephanie.
Yeah, we Googled and...
We Googled many things.
Oh my God, where do you see her saying that? Is she in a different one?
I don't know. It's just showing on there. It says Google knows.
Oh, you know what? It's probably not showing up there. But,
It happens. That's why I got mine up over here on
yeah.
second tab so I can
We're going to get this thing popping in just a second.
advise for tech support.
Yeah, because clearly I don't know what the hell's going on over here. I'll be better. Look, it showed us sideways and everything. That's crazy. So did you just have yours pulled up and muted? Is that what you did? Okay.
A little bit lagged.
Clearly,
Yeah.
A little bit.
I don't know what the hell's going
Would my shit just freeze?
on. I'll be better. Look, it showed us
Okay.
sideways and everything.
Alright, there we go. All
Are y'all
right.
still with us?
Yeah, they're
Sorry.
probably like, what the fuck is going on?
Come back in about 15 minutes and we'll be rolling. No,
We're
I'm just
figuring
kidding.
it out, guys. We're doing this damn thing. Hello. So, we're good. My problem is I need to get a good intro, you know? Like, I feel like I need to do a good intro. I'm trying to figure out, like, how I should
Do you
start.
want like a jingle?
Yeah, but you can't use anything. That's what's so crazy.
You gotta make your own.
Oh, like Batman. You can't say Batman, but you can say
Not really like that, but
Like, what should I do? Brandon the Killer. And there you go. That girl on TV. What's her name? I don't think you're allowed to say people's names on live. Are you?
why aren't you?
Are you?
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't want to be copyrighted.
You just
or-
can't use like music. I don't think you can.
Oh
music
yeah,
playing in the
Bailey
background.
Sarian. She just did like a noise and it ended up being her theme song. She goes, she was like, "This is Bailey Sarian." That
was no. That's from fucking Simple Life.
Yeah. So she just does that
From Paris Hilton and
And
Nicole
then she
Richie.
goes, yeah. Yeah. That's just, oh my God, that's what she does. So she got it from that.
Yeah, that's from the Simple Life. I used to say that shit all the time when I was like in middle school. and watched
Damn,
Simple
I should have
Life.
recorded that. That was hot. That way, what she say? That's hot.
I love
fucking
Paris Hilton.
I do too. I'm recording now. Hello, podcast world. This is Brandon the Killer. My name is Brandy, and I have Haley here with us.
Hi, I'm Haley.
And I'm sorry I sound so fucking robotic, but
We're working on it.
we are getting better at this shit. You hear me? Okay, tonight we got a fucking big ass case to talk about. We're going to talk about.
It captivated the world.
It did captivate the world, and it still is because Netflix just came out with a documentary on it, and I'm not doing that shit. Just go on Netflix and look at it.
And I honestly don't even really know if that would like be. I mean, I know it was a documentary, but like,
it did not seem like
it didn't. It was like cut. It was like well, first there's no narrator,
There wasn't, and I didn't like that.
and there was no interviews or like
and it was
side
like
cuts. Or
it's
anything.
all they did was fucking a good video edit.
Yeah,
They just basically put their
they
text
took all
messages
her
together.
Facebook, text messages and her Facebook posts and stuff, and just put them all together and put some like dun-dun-dun-dun, like piano music behind it.
Yeah, and
That's
they did her
really-
ring video.
I mean, it
her
was
walking
cool.
up. It was a good.
But
I like to watch different ones, so I like to get like everybody else's view sometimes.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I like the interviews where they talk to the family or the people
Yes.
that knew them. or
I
the-
even watched the Dr. Phil. I think I listened to every podcast thing on here about down, girl, down.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
Oh,
know.
no,
She
you're
was sitting
fine.
there, but we were like petting her, like good job.
No, she's fine. She's fine. She's mad at me right now, but I have to teach her because she climbs on everything, and it drives me crazy. Stop. Now she's staring at me. She's like, I hate you. Okay, so what we're gonna get into is the Shannan. Here we go.
Shannan.
Shannan. Shannan is it Shannan?
Shannan.
How you say it?
I say Shannan. That's
Okay.
just how I say it. I don't know how everyone else says it. That's how I've heard most people say it that way, but it could be. I don't think it's Cheyenne though.
I'm gonna adopt it and say how you say it?
Shannan.
Shannan.
Or you could just say Shannon.
Oh, it's weird though.
Or I've also heard Shannon.
Shannan. Shannan. It's everybody fucks and says it's different. Everybody does.
It doesn't matter. Just say it however it comes out.
Shannan Watts. And that's who we're talking about tonight. And also, we're just going to dig deep back into, not all the way back, because it's a lot. But we're just going to discuss the case and what both of our opinions are about it. Because we may have different opinions. We may have the same. Shit.
I think we have a little bit of different opinions.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. You said your opinion kind of changed recently.
I don't know. It's driving me crazy.
Well, okay, let's get into, the background of,
all right.
the prom and everything that happened. And then
Yes. That's probably something we do need to get into.
Just
Okay,
a
so
quick
we're going to
overview.
get into Chris Watts first. Christopher Lee Watts was born.
You know, it's really weird. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, you're fine.
My sister is married to a Christopher Lee, and she also has an ex-boyfriend who's a Christopher Lee.
Oh, God. Thank God she didn't meet this Christopher
There's
Lee.
a lot of Christopher Lees out there.
Oh, my God.
They're all unique in their own way.
But I think if this was a different person, I don't think that he would have turned out like that, if that makes sense.
Who's a different person.
If he didn't marry her, which duh, Brandy, but I think that her personality and his were just too separate, too different.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Chris Watts was born on May 16th, 1985 to Cindy and Ronnie Watts. And that was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then
Weren't they both from North Carolina?
Yeah, both of them were from North Carolina.
Okay,
because,
I thought so.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what they bonded over whenever they
Yep. He said
met
so.
each other.
Yep. So Chris was very shy in school. He did not speak to a lot of people ever. Like, he didn't even have a girlfriend in high school. Like, he didn't get a girlfriend until like college, I think.
I know people like that.
Yeah, I did.
It's weird.
He was just very antisocial. He was a very introvert even then.
Mm-hmm.
And his sister thought he was autistic because he literally would only talk about cars. And not saying that's... I'm not saying that that's why people are autistic. I'm not. I'm saying that she thought he was on the spectrum because he was so obsessive with certain things to do.
As they usually are.
Yes. And so she was like, well, I really thought for a long time that he was on the spectrum because he could not hold a conversation unless it was about cars. And that was his dream. So his dad and him would go you know how we have racetracks here and shit. That's what they did, I guess, but just in North Carolina. And through high school, he was like his fucking teacher's pet because he loved doing cars and working on them and shit. So he's just over fucking Tim the Toolman Taylor. Even though he built houses, but just...
She built a house too, though, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Yep, she fucking did.
Yeah, I can't relate.
She was 25 years old and built the house. Believe me,
I'm
she talked about it.
And
I'm 36.
Can't.
I'm old as fuck.
I can't do it.
84, baby. I think she's the same age as me.
Who's 84?
Yeah, both of Chris Watts and Shannan.
I'm done with you, Shannan. You can't do that every time you say Shannan.
Watts. Well, her actual name is Shannan Watts or Shannan Rusick. Ruschek. Is that how you say it?
Ruschek.
Shit, I'm horrible. Yeah. Just fucking delete me.
I think it's Ruschek.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rustic.
I heard Critical K call them the Rucheks. But I think she was saying that to
be funny.
Them.
Maybe.
She was calling them the Rucheks.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I think there's I think it's Ruse because there's a Z in there somewhere.
Oh my god. Yeah. So he was obsessive with cars and shit. You know that weird ass kid at school that always didn't talk to people. Basically, that was him. Everybody thought he was gonna be big in NASCAR, so he went to a college for NASCAR.
Did he used to race? Hold on.
He
Rewind.
went to races.
Hold on. He went to a college for NASCAR. Is that a thing?
There's a NASCAR school. Hold on. There's a NASCAR
No, I
school.
don't
He got
believe
$1,000 scholarship for.
Hold the
I
phone.
swear to God. He was like a fucking
NASCAR
He was like,
University.
what's that dude in that Stephen Hawking's? He's Stephen Hawking's of NASCAR.
Okay, UTI NASCAR
UTI.
NASCAR. That's what it says. UTI NASCAR Tech School.
I used to see commercials for that. I thought it was a scam. Well, fucking fooled me. Chris Watts was there.
All right, so he went to NASCAR college.
Yeah, and he got $1,000 scholarship, and then after he finished, so okay, another thing was his dad was so depressed when he left that his dad got hooked on coke real bad, and they had to do an intervention. Chris did an intervention with his dad
Because he left because his son
went
was
to
gone
go to school, yeah,
and he couldn't.
and he couldn't handle it, so he did coke. And
I feel like he would do a downer.
I feel like why would you just skip straight to coke? There ain't no gradual, you're not gradually building it up to it. You're just gonna fuck it.
I mean, maybe
I'm
you
gonna do
never
it
know.
all.
Maybe he had a past with it, and maybe that's what knocked his.
Maybe. You know what? That's okay.
Problem.
But come to find out, also, his mother was really like a type A personality, very the boss basically, and his dad kind of went with the deals, went with the flow of everything, and so did Chris. He didn't like conflict, he didn't want any of that, so he graduated in 2006 from the NASCAR Institute with honors, like it's a thing.
So okay, so I guess he was he's a mechanic then.
Yeah, he was like really good.
Okay, that makes sense now because he worked at that oil place.
Yeah, so he only went to the oil place. I'll get into that. He went to the oil place because he was made to go to the oil place. It worked at a deco or Darker, whatever it is.
Makes
so
sense.
he ended up leaving the NASCAR thing. He did actually do applications for NASCAR itself, but he bombed the interview because he's such an introvert. He didn't do good. So he ended up.
Obviously, you saw his interview on the porch.
Yeah, because that was fucking awkward. I just need them home right this moment. What the fuck?
I just want them to be here.
Not a goddamn fake tear. You can't act.
See, what gave it away for me was how much he
That's gave it away for
how
me.
much he blinked his eyes.
He blinked his eyes.
He was like, I just want him home.
I just need them.
I just need him here and there.
I just need him here and there, and he was being fucking weird. It's just hilarious. It's just
okay. Well, I'm sure we can get more.
We'll get
on
it, yeah,
that
because
later.
that's fucking wild.
Let's keep going.
All right, so when he left NASCAR, he got a job at how there's Ford here. There's a Ford everywhere, I'm guessing. So there in Mooresville, he got on at Ford.
South Carolina.
Yeah, and made really good fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And then his friend's like, you need to send my friend a friend request, and he does, and it goes unanswered. Let's skip the Shannan. So he sends a friend request to Shannan. They're gonna fucking destroy me. Shannan.
Are we still live?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay, it stopped showing up. Sorry.
Are you there?
Disregard.
Oh, no,
commentary.
it's fine.
All right, continue.
So, Shannan Catherine Rusick was born January 10th, 1984 in New Jersey to Frank and Sandy. And 2 years later, her brother Frankie was born. Now, it's said that they moved around a lot. And Shannan was very bubbly, stood out. A lot of people said she talked a lot. But when she was younger, she was kind of sickly, her mom said. And you're about to hear a fucked up theory later on. I'm going to come back to this. So just imagine, put a pin in it, that she says, it said that she was very sickly as a child.
Well, I will say, she wasn't a child, but in the Netflix documentary, there were photos of her. And it looked like it was obviously before she had ever met Chris. And she was just a lot thinner,
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of just looked frail, kind of.
Well, so she ended up, they moved when she was a little girl. They moved to Clifton, New Jersey, and then she was in number 11 elementary school, which people's like, why the fuck you telling me that? But
Number 11, what's that?
It's somewhere in New Jersey. And they grew up in the Lakeview section, so they moved a lot because Frank was a carpenter or some shit. He did his own home improvements.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing they had a fucked up marriage, and there was a lot of arguing and craziness going on because also Sandy was a very dominant and Frank was a very submissive. So you have very strong women that were both parents to these people. So Shannan was insecure and bullied a lot. Her brother had to always step in and fucking try to save her life, I guess, because people were beating her ass. So, beating her up.
People were beating her ass.
Sometimes I forget where I'm at. So Frankie always stood up for her. So in '99, Frank moved them again to Aberdeen, North Carolina, and this is where they was. This starts the story of them.
Okay.
So she was a very so she started when she went into high school, she started being in this teacher's class. Like, he was like the theater teacher or the drama teacher. And it was said that she was in there all the time after school. Constantly talking about how her family's life is fucked up. Her dad, she don't get enough attention from her dad.
They were boning.
Well, I thought the same fucking thing. But, I mean, because look at this shit. Let's fast forward to when all the shit went down. He did a news thing and was like crying devastatingly.
The teacher.
Yes. But everybody said that it wasn't like that. That it was actually just something. But
I mean, maybe it's not, but that's just where my mind
that makes
goes.
me fucking uncomfortable because I don't know why. Maybe because, all the bad shit that happened to me as a kid. So I always think some fucked up shit's going down with some weird role model.
Right.
So she fucking would tell him everything. So the school had to intervene and say, hey, you need to stop coming up in here. He's not the fucking guidance counselor. I'm going to send you to somebody else. And then she's like, fuck you. I'm not.
In high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, she wasn't doing it. She wasn't listening to the fucking high school. She was like, fuck you. I'm going to go back to Mr. Francis or whatever. That's his name. Francis, Mr. Francis, some shit. I don't know. But, long story short, I think that she made that shit up just to get attention from him. Because she's manipulative.
Made up what?
I think that with all that I've learned about her, I think maybe because she told him that her parents are divorcing.
Oh, okay. You mean she made up how her home life was?
Yeah, just for attention, maybe because she wasn't getting attention from her dad. It makes more sense to me that that's what they were talking about, or they was boning, which is disgusting. Which that means, Francis, you're a fucker. No, but
student fucker.
Student fucker. So in high school, she met a guy named Leonard King, and that's who she ended up getting married.
That's my dog's name, Leonard.
Leonard so King. Leonard and her, it was said that Leonard was a very dominant guy.
Is this the guy she was married to?
This is the first guy she was married to.
The first guy? She was married to 3. 2?
2, so that I know of.
And Chris. First husband and Chris, right?
Yeah, first husband and Chris.
Okay.
So Leonard was a very dominant guy, and she couldn't really. And I didn't learn this till I was listening to the tapes today, the Chris Watts tapes. Mm-hmm. He said that she couldn't really speak her mind then, and why's my nose running? I'm weird. So she couldn't speak her mind then, and that she basically was scared, like she. Basically, not like how she was with him, And that's typical. And when you're in an abusive relationship mentally, afterwards you get your you want to have some. It's like a fucking 1,000 wishes from Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works is sponsored. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, sponsoring this podcast.
But so she ended up basically. Leonard was kind of controlling, and she kind of went with the flow and did everything. So she ended up getting into nursing school and all that bullshit. But she said she dropped out because Leonard wanted to because he went to the army. Because they ended up getting married right after she graduated. So her and Leonard were living the life. She quits nursing school and ends up going back to, saying she was taking care of him.
So how long were they married?
A while. 6 years or something like that.
How old was she when she... Do you know?
Or hold on, she was 18 when she got married, and she was 23 when she got divorced. So
okay,
it wasn't 8 years. I'm bad at math, but it was a while. They were married for a minute. Yeah. So basically, when those shotguns jump out of high school, you get fucking married, and it never fucking lasts. And usually by 23, you're like, "Fuck you, motherfucker," because there's a lot of growing.
Well, I've been with Dusty since I was 16, but we haven't been married that long.
It's different.
It's not different. Trust me, I want to kill him sometimes.
Oh, I feel like that all the time. But then I remember this case, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, see,
I don't want to go to jail.
I would definitely go to jail. For sure.
I think I would be alright. I think I would be one of those bitches in there, like, give me my fucking cigarettes.
I mean, Dusty always tells me, he's always like, there's no way you could ever try, you would never kill me. He's just like,
they say that, but then they don't know how mad we get.
And I was like, you don't know how vulnerable I could get you.
Yeah. Every time you go to sleep, motherfucker, I'm right there.
Exactly. So
and you know what's fucked
you
up?
might be able to beat my ass while I'm asleep or while
Right.
you're awake, but like.
But when you sleep, I'm gonna poison your motherfucking ass. Watch. I hope. God, let's hope that none of this shit really happens in real life.
That would be funny. That'll be on our documentary.
Oh my God, did you hear the chunky one with her hair looking like it's a bun? She said she was going to poison her husband. Shut the fuck up.
Ow, it hurts when I laugh because I have heartburn because I'm drinking red wine. And that happens.
I don't drink much, but I think I'm going to start.
I think I'm going to start.
So, oh yeah, Leonard and Shannan. So Shannan and Leonard literally was married, and then they got divorced because it was fucking awful, and he took everything because he's an ass, and she didn't get nothing, and she had to start over. So she started working at this place called Dirty South Customs or whatever. You know, they did those fucking rims and shit for people, blah, blah, blah. So she ends up, like, embezzling money is what I think, because how the fuck do you make $500,000 a year and you're able to build your own house at 23?
She was making $500,000 a year.
She built, yes, is what her brother said, and she built a house that was almost $400,000.
Okay, now let's stop for a second. When you say when we're saying she built this house,
Yeah.
she built it with her own two hands, or was it one of those situations where it was like she paid someone
She
to
paid
build
somebody to build it, but they said that she was so controlling that basically she was on there every day.
Because I saw like photos of her like.
Yeah, well,
You know what I
she
mean?
was.
Like on the porch. So I was assuming that like she just like was like, all right, I'm just gonna build myself a house.
Right, like fuck it. No,
Yeah.
I think she was, hired somebody. Clearly, she had to get a loan because who the fuck has that much money laying around? I mean, people with owe money do. Hopefully, those people sponsor this, but I don't know. She just fucking started building, saying she wanted to build it, and built this weird. It was strange. Did you see the house?
No.
It's like a $400,000 house.
No, I didn't.
It was like brick or fucking, I don't know. I'm not a carpenter or whatever those people are. Masonaries? Is that what? Fuck, who knows? But, yeah. She fucking basically built that shit and she posed that. I think she just liked the thrill and the attention because she didn't get a lot of attention, I think, when she was younger, which made her strive for it more when she was older, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but it just seems like that. So she ends up getting a friend request from Chris once, and she ignores it. Then she gets it again when she's in her lowest point, it says.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that she was in her lowest point when she just stumbled upon, knowing she probably, because she's a pretty girl, because guys just be sending
She was a very pretty girl.
Yeah, she was very, very pretty.
She was a cutie with a booty.
She was very cutie with a booty. She was.
May God rest her soul, but
Jesus.
she was cute.
She was cute. So she's very pretty. So, of course, she ain't listening. She ain't fucking popping off in her messages, on Facebook.
Right.
Imagine how many she had.
Mm-hmm.
I went single, and I swear I had a dick pic for every day of the week.
I don't get those.
It's weird. Who the fuck just says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to send this dick to you.
I haven't gotten a dick pic unsolicited since I was probably 15.
Well, it was strange for me because I was like, people really fucking do this when I was single? Like, people really fucking do this? Yeah, man, they do it. I was like, I don't know. So imagine how many she had, because she's pretty.
Right. I mean, you're pretty.
I mean, I am. I'm not even going to lie, because I'm I'm a model. But let's go on about Shannan. So Shannan reaches out to Chris, I guess, or I guess she gets tired of him stalking her, but she talks to him, and they end up courting, and she goes on their first date. They went to this theater. He's thinking it's like a theater, like the Rave Cinema over here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a fucking cinema. It was like where they serve you fancy dinner. So she shows up dressed up, and he shows up in DC shoes, some army fatigue pants, and a t-shirt. He was like, well, this is not good. That's what he said. He said
On their first date?
On his first date. And then he was so nervous he couldn't eat. And she was chowing down, he said, but she was like, and she was like, you eat like a bird. And he was like, yeah. That was awkward for them. And then the second date was some fucking thing. I don't know, Kid Rock concert. He was so nervous he left his ID.
A Kid Rock concert.
Yeah,
They don't
cowboy.
seem like Kid Rock people.
I know. I think he was. He liked Metallica. I
yeah,
love
but
Metallica.
I love Metallica too, but Kid Rock people are just like, I mean,
Round.
don't take this the wrong way, anybody who likes Kid Rock, but they're
Cowboy, baby.
They're a little rowdy.
They are rowdy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what?
Which I can't say much. I'm trailer trash, but I'm not trailer
Same.
trash. I don't live in a trailer, but I'm still trash.
Yeah. I'm fucking disgusting. Kill me, God.
I
fuck.
Say,
No,
I can say that. I can say that because I am also trash. But
I get what you're saying.
they don't seem.
They live on the rough side of the tracks.
Yeah, you said he was a Metallica fan because he was like, what? I can't remember if it was he was listening to the music or he Googled the lyrics to
Fuel,
Battery.
Battery,
By
Battery.
Metallica, like right after he murdered him, and I was like, I wonder if he was like on like a high, and he was like,
yeah, like
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I'd have been listening to The One. I like that one, or One by them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
I like
Fade to Black.
Harvester of Sorrows. Harvester of Sorrows.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's my jam.
I used to get high.
The first time I ever, if you've seen the Metallica One music video, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like fucked up, like
it
crazy.
is fucked up.
Well, funny story. The first time
Is
I
that
ever
Iron Lung is in or some shit. Is that what that is?
Iron Lung.
Is that the one where he's like, I know it's like a war, and it's like black and white, and I remember it coming up. But at one point there, he's in some kind of lung in some tomb. I don't know what. Maybe I'm tripping.
He's the dude in the movie. It's from it seems from a movie, and it was like he was deaf and he couldn't see, and all this shit, whatever.
Crazy
so he was basically just like in his mind, and he couldn't escape his mind or whatever. Well, anyways, the first time I ever saw that music video, I was tripping on acid.
Oh my god!
I was on acid.
I tripped on
Sorry,
acid
Mom.
when I was younger.
I've done acid before. But
I hope my kids ain't listening. I was like fucking 13. I was wild at 12 and 13. I was doing shit that people do now. That's probably why I don't drink now. But I was fucking drunk then and did wild shit. Nobody took care of me, so I just fucking took care of myself. Went wild. But yeah, tripping on acid's fucked up. And then I used to watch Ed and Eddie while I tripped on acid, so that made it even worse. I would just laugh.
Yeah, but just imagine being on acid and just seeing that music video.
Yeah, it would
like
trip
I
you
had
the
heard
fuck
the
out.
song like thousands of times, but I'd never seen the video.
Right.
We were watching music videos, and all of a sudden this shit comes on, and I'm just like,
oh my god!
what?
It's fucked up.
They just don't seem like Kid Rock people to me. I don't know.
They don't.
That was a weird tangent. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I like it. I like the
They just
camaraderie.
seem like cookie cutter, like
Yeah.
they would go like see like Maroon 5 or something,
Right.
You know.
Knock tap on my window.
Right.
Herbie up there swaying in the wind and shit. I can see it.
I don't see them being
lot.
Kid Rock people, but anyway. So
So
their
they-
second day was Kid Rock.
It was
concert.
hot, and he's so fucking nervous. He leaves his ID and like has to run all the way back to get his ID, and then run all the way back to Shannan and
Shannan.
I'm gonna say her name
extra
every time.
syllables now.
Shannan.
Shannan.
So she was like, okay, cool, And then their third date, they went to Myrtle Beach, and she said that's when she completely fell in love with Chris because he let her basically lay on his lap for 4.5 hours when he had to pee. I don't know.
Oh, I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
It was that video that she took, and she was like, "He's so great."
Yes, yep. Because you let him go through pain for 3.5 hours, so that's what makes you do it there, ma'am. But here we go. So they get together.
Bitches are very easily pleased these days.
I guess so. She ends up fucking like sharing on Facebook, hey, in 2010, this is my bae, my boo. And they're like, oh yeah. So she tries to put together a dinner for her parents and his parents. It didn't go well. Cindy did not like Sandy from the jump, and she was like,
Cindy and Sandy.
yeah, Cindy, which is Chris's mother, was like, no, I don't like her. She's too loud, and she just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Chris's mom said that?
Yeah, about Sandy. So
She seems like the type of person that
Sandy
would
was
say
like
that.
the center of attention, talking loud.
Yeah, Sandy always seemed like she was like kind of like
a boss bitch. Maybe.
yeah, like she's like down to earth and like
and then her husband just listened to her. What was so wrong with that? They put that shit out there. So they end up being together, and Cindy just had never. They didn't understand. They would ask Shannan questions about why and how she had made that much money to build that spectacular house. Because Cindy was like, this is not right. Something's wrong. I feel like she's going to move you in here and take all your money. And that's exactly what she did. He had $11,000 saved up. After the cookout that they had together, she ended up basically moving him in, and he gave her his $11,000 he had in savings and gave it to her.
for what?
I don't fucking know, but I ain't giving nobody $11,000. I know that.
I mean, it wasn't like something that was like
I guess
put towards.
So during all this time, she got real sick.
Life.
So in between them knowing each other, you know, in the dating process, she gets real sick and has to do a colonoscopy, and he takes her and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, is catering to her. They said, like, in a slavish way, catering to her.
Yeah.
Basically making her, you know, basically like a slave. Basically treating her like, I guess, obsessed with her. Fuck, I don't know. But so she ended up wasn't working because she was so sick on, like, had lupus. She had just got diagnosed with lupus. Mm-hmm. And lupus does take a long time to be diagnosed. People go for years without even knowing. And she ended up knowing quickly. Maybe she had been sick her whole life and just now at 20-something figured it out. Who knows?
I don't know a whole lot about lupus.
I don't either. So I try not to say, oh, well, she's fucking lying, because you can't see lupus. You don't know if that shit's true. And she seemed to have a group of people around her that supported her for it. So whatever. She ended up being sick from that. So she went back to Dirty South part-time. But then Chris moved in. So I don't know if she stayed with Dirty South or whatever. But some shit. She was also working as a photographer and a nanny. This comes into play because our friend Jenna, who she was a nanny for, ends up moving to Colorado. And that's how they end up going to Colorado. So during this, Cindy Watts is like, yeah, some dude thinks she lied about that. About the lupus. I wasn't going to go there and go crazy yet, but
I wasn't going to go there, but since you said it.
I was waiting for somebody to lead with it. I didn't know what kind of crowd we were playing with.
Like he said lupus is gay. That's like the go-to bullshit diagnosis. I thought that was, don't mean to offend anybody, but I thought that was fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Where it's...
I think it's just people that want pain pills. Hey,
that's what I've always heard is they say, like, you know, you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, I'm constantly tired, I'm constantly
like,
I don't
get
feel
up.
good, blah,
Quit
blah,
drinking
you know
Coke.
what I mean?
Stop drinking your fucking Coke.
Take your
Big
medicine with water, not Mountain Dew.
Right, I say a lot when I'm fucking 250 with a red wine in my hand. But so Jenna's, I guess Jenna ends up going to work at a different hospital in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And that ends up clicking. And I'm going to tell you something. Shannan always copies kind of people, their style, she didn't know who she was.
She was like a chameleon.
Yeah, so she kind of like everywhere.
I know a lot of people throughout my life that are chameleons.
I used to be like that.
That it's like, I've known them, but I've known them at like
different
8
levels.
different stages.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I've known them as like the country, like, camo wearing, whatever. Yeah. And then I've known them as like the hippie that like only eats like vegan shit. And then I know them as like, you know, oh, they're the boyfriend that they're with goes to church, and so then they become a church whore, and then, you know, like, and it's constantly like they're constantly changing to adapt to the people around them.
And that's true. It's fucking crazy.
And some people just have a type of personality.
Yeah, some people just blend in where they go, you know, and they can, and they're very good sellers. They can sell shit. Remember that. So they end up. So I guess that Jenna bitch moves to.
Who's Jenna?
Jenna. I didn't mean to say Jenna bitch, but it's some girl that was Shannan's friend that she had met off of a nanny app, and she became a nanny.
Okay.
So she had a son named Eli, and that's who Shannan took care of while she worked. And that's when Shannan started getting into the nursing field, because guess what Jenna was? A nurse.
A nurse.
And guess what her house looked like? You know the house on Pencil... Oh, anyway, that big-ass house was on 1,000 Peninsula Road, somewhere in some fucking North Charleston, Charlotte area. And it ended up selling... So she was, you know, her friend moved, the nanny lady, or who she was nannying for, and they moved to Colorado. And Jenna's basically telling her, you guys should move out here, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I got to get this house. But I can have Chris come out there, and he can stay with y'all while I stay back and get this house sold. Mm-hmm. So she stayed back for 3 months or so. So he could go forward with them and live there in their basement. Like, they got so close. Like, they said Chris was a phenomenal guy. They never said nothing. Nobody ever says anything bad about him, ever. Like, I never have even heard somebody say anything bad.
No, they really... I mean, the only thing they've said bad has been stuff that has happened after the murder.
Yeah.
Or leading up to it.
Yeah,
you're
right.
But yeah, no, I mean, everybody says shitty things about her,
Like, he would stay, then he would stay and watch the kids, Jenna's kids, and take care of them.
I mean, he looked like from all the videos, he looked like an engaged father.
Very engaged. It's fucking... You know why it blows everybody's minds? Because typically there's signs leading up to people being a fucking psychopath, sociopath, or those kind of things. And he fucking
But then there's other ones that just come out of nowhere and just slap you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Where the fuck did you come from, sir? But so that's how that went down. So then Chris's mom at this point was pissed. They're engaged also at this point. They're already engaged when he moves. When Chris goes to Colorado with Jenna and her husband and kid and dog, Dieter. That's the dog that they end up having. But it
was a cute dog.
Yeah, it was a cute dog. She ended up staying back and trying to sell that house. Chris's mom is like, this is bullshit. And she's trying to plan a wedding from there also in Colorado. Just all kind of crazy shit. So she ends up coming back out there right when she's about to get married. And then some shit goes down with invitations that Jamie was supposed to deliver, or her food was supposed to be this certain kind of food. So Jamie was like one of them old school parents that we typically have. Or not Jamie, but Cindy was like one of those old school parents was like, rub some dirt on it, they'll be fucking okay.
Yeah.
Like all these fucking allergies and shit, quit lying, type shit. And basically, that's just how Cindy was, and just wasn't kind of like soft. Kind of old school, basically. And basically tried to tell Chris that, but Chris wasn't listening. And then none of his family was at the wedding. It was all her family and friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They didn't. None of their family went. None of his family went.
His mom or dad wasn't even there.
Mom, dad, sister, nobody. Nope.
Huh.
It was all her people.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting. Because why would you want to marry somebody that nobody comes or nobody tries to be there? I wouldn't have married Brandon if none of his people showed up. I'd have felt horrible for him. I mean, it's different about them not trying, but you tell them they're banned and can't come.
That's what the deal was, though?
She basically said they're not allowed to come, and they didn't. Which is controlling and a fucking red flag. If somebody's telling you what to do, period. Bye. Goodbye. Not how you mop your floors, but basically telling you other people can't be in your life. So it's kind of like what narcissists do. They always call Chris a narcissist, but I don't see it that way. I've always seen...
You don't think he's a narcissist?
No.
I don't think he is either, honestly, because I don't feel like he really...
No.
Matches the...
Not even the malignant narcissist that they say.
Definition.
Yeah, they say malignant narcissists stay to themselves and they typically don't show sign, but that don't even
I think he's more of a sociopath.
Yeah.
Than a narcissist.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree, or I don't think nothing's wrong with him. I think that he's just a normal guy and just fucking got
because
done.
he was very like passive, and she would tell him do this, do that, and he wouldn't really like argue back with her.
Yeah, he just did it.
Yeah, that's not a narcissist.
Narcissists
do not do that.
They do not. They're the ones that are telling you what to do. Narcissists are the ones that control you, try to move you away from your family. Ding, ding, ding. Hello? Let me fucking move you from North Carolina to Colorado.
I didn't want to say anything, but
right.
Yeah.
So, it's just crazy to me. But we'll keep going because that's what we're here to do.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm reading comments. Mom was a douche.
Yeah, mine
Toad's parents weren't around her kids because of some dumb allergy shit. So it's my friend Jason. He's kind of autistic.
Oh, it's okay. We're all weird here. I'm not saying that we're... I needed to stop talking. I'm going to offend somebody.
It's probably too late for me. I've probably...
Right. It's fucking over with.
I just said that
whatever
Jason was
friends
kind of
I did
autistic.
have... Whatever friends I did have reading this, I bet you my views just went down to 0. Oh, well. Okay, so what was we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, narcissist. So she moves him all the way there. Tells him his family can't be there. That's when the controlling starts. And it said when I was reading the tapes, he would say that she never fucking yelled it. Like, never hit him or never tried to hurt him. Nothing. It was all mental. It was all, he just didn't want to upset her. And he said he was like that most of his life with everything.
But see, the neighbor who had
seen him yelling out in the car, and then they just went nuts. I think a lot of it was for show.
Had the
yeah, that guy.
See, it's like we know what we're talking about, but I don't think they know what we're.
The neighbor, the chunky neighbor that lived a couple houses down that had the
surveillance.
Nate.
His name was Nate.
Yep.
Yes,
Nate.
he said that he had heard, like, on numerous occasions that
Give me
he...
more red wine.
Yeah. Having more red wine.
I tell like the Sanderson sisters. I don't know why I talk about that.
What was I going to say?
Thing? I should have bought. I should now. I know what kind is that. Next time.
What kind is this?
Yeah.
Oliver.
Oliver.
Sweet Red.
Sweet Red.
This is sponsored by
This
Oliver.
is sponsored by.
This video is sponsored by Oliver. It's not.
We hope that Audible one day.
Maybe
you can't,
one
you
day.
know, if Audible does you, you can't cuss or nothing in a lot of your sponsors. I think.
Fuck that.
Right. Can you imagine? I couldn't do it. There'd be too much going on. So she moves him away. And I also want to pause here and say, I don't think Shannan was a bad person. I don't know. I think some people that are like that don't know they're like that. If that makes sense. Some people that are like that really don't know. You're never supposed to tell a narcissist they're a narcissist because they can't handle it. They're like, what? Who?
Right.
Me? What the fuck? You know? No, I'm not. I'm just this. And they'll have an excuse for everything. So you can't change. That's one type of group of people. You cannot change them. They're never going to change. There will be the same person they are today as they are tomorrow, as they are there's no changing them. So there's no need to stay with somebody like that. But sometimes you don't realize you're in an abusive relationship. And I say abusive because mental abuse is fucking abuse. And abuse near a man is fucking abuse.
I've never been in an abusive relationship. I mean, I guess you could consider like a high school relationship to be abusive, but it
depends.
It wasn't like really serious in the whole grand scheme of things.
Right.
But I have been friends with people who have been in abusive relationships.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from like a best friend's point of view that
They don't know it.
No, they don't.
They think that, he's fine, and then they think it's normal. Let me call up my friend and cry
Yeah,
my eyes out.
and then
you hate them. You're like, what the
months
fuck?
later, then years later, when they finally get out of the situation and they look back on how they were, they're like, I don't see how I didn't see it.
How did I not see it?
And I'm like,
Why
I was trying to tell you.
Like, I've been trying to tell you. How the fuck did I let the shit go down that went down? Did I really shut my motherfucking mouth? Like, it's crazy.
Right.
So, he's just basically going with the flow of things because that's just how Chris is. Now, I do want to, say, I'm not team anybody on this. It's fucking sad. He could have not murdered his whole family. That could have been something. So I don't want people to take offense and think that I'm trying to attack her character. I'm saying straight facts, straight fucking facts. If you don't believe me, go look them up. You're going to find them. It's nothing I'm saying. It's just my opinion on things and Haley's. So, what the fuck ever.
Right.
So they get there. So also, when they get there, they're married, of course. And they're getting that house in Frederick built at this point. And guess what? Shannan starts, you don't do that. Oh, shit.
You got me a little bit.
So Shannan basically is like, oh, well, I want to do what you're doing, Jenna. I want to be a nurse. So Shannan starts working at a hospital in Colorado. She works there for a while. This is the job she had for a while before she was even doing all that shit that she was doing, the multi-level business.
Leveling up.
Level. But, so she ends up getting what is those people? Dispatch.
CNA? Or no?
She like
A receptionist?
something like that, but she did dispatching too. Fuck, I don't know. She did that there for a while. And Chris was actually working at Ford at this point there. So he had been there for a good while working there. So while they're getting the house built. And of course, this house got built. And then they move into it. So it's like, why the fuck would they build a house that big when it's just two people?
I kind of wondered that. I mean, I didn't know that their house was built, but I did kind of. I mean, there were 3 of them. They almost had. Well, they had 2.5 kids technically.
Yeah.
So,
but they hadn't had kids then.
Right.
I don't think. Let me Google that.
honestly never understand why people buy big houses. I feel like if I had $1 million, no, not even just $1 million. $1 million isn't even shit nowadays. But like,
right.
If I had like all the money in the world, I would not build I would not live in a huge house.
Me
I would
neither.
live in a nice, decked out, like...
Small house.
Yes.
It's cheaper,
And
one.
I'm not going to be, like,
Are
cleaning all those bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking.
How do they live? How do people in those 12 bathroom mansions live? I mean, probably they have money, so they got people to fucking, like, you know.
Well, that's the thing, though. These people buy these houses and they can't really afford them, so
Yeah.
they don't have the money to.
They're house rich.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he said in the video when I was reading it. They're house rich. They basically was like paying their fucking bills, but at this point, he ends up getting another job at how's it how you say it? Anadeco.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's the name of the job that he was at, was Anadeco. And he was like an oil field person. So he was basically the ones that did kind of would go out and test the oil fields and shit like that. And this is just them in the beginning. So from the beginning, things you need to know about Shannan is that she was very controlling, but she was also very anal when it comes to cleaning and keeping things clean and spotless and things like that. So, like, she was one of those moms that everything in her house was labeled, everything had a place, everything was fucking like a robot's house. Like, you could eat off the floors, basically. And it's just, I don't know. I've never understood why people get so crazy about, to that extent. That just shows her personality,
well, it's because
too.
they're wanting to
please
paint,
everybody?
exactly. They're wanting to paint a picture of how their life is, even though it might not be that way, but they just want people to think that it is.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because she didn't have a lot of attention from her father, it says. Mm-hmm. And so I think she wanted to build this perfect life. In her first marriage, it failed. So her second one, she was going to make it be just this perfect, and like everything's perfect. You have the perfect wedding, you have the perfect.
Well, and then I think her perfect life that spilled over into her doing her. I don't even know what to call it. I always want to call it a pyramid scheme.
It is a pyramid scheme,
but that like spilled over into that because she was like, "Wow, I can have this perfect life and have this image of who I want to be and who I want everybody to see that I am.
Yeah.
And I can also make money from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm selling to these people that my life is awesome and my life is so much better because of this product that you can't show the bad parts of it. You know what I mean?
Right. She ends up getting pregnant with Bella shortly after they move into the house, or maybe after they got pregnant. I'm not going to fucking quote it. It's just a lot of shit to remember. But, they had Bella, and it said she was sick a lot. Like, her first pregnancy was real hard on her. Mm-hmm. And then they end up shortly after getting pregnant with Cece, and it took a while for that one. It took like how old were they? 3 and 4?
They were 3 and 4. I mean, I guess it didn't take that long, honestly.
Yeah.
They were that close.
Well, I just remember him saying in the thing when he found out the third one was coming, it was kind of like, what the fuck? Damn, that was fast. Yeah. But she knew what she wanted, so.
Right.
But so.
Well, he also didn't say no either, because.
Right, yeah, because
that's a 2-person job there.
Yes, yeah. How the fuck? But did you know that also she was so anal? I think she was A-type sexual, meaning she didn't really like sex.
You mean asexual?
Asexual, is that how you say it?
Asexual. A-type sexual.
I don't know.
My friend Stephanie's asexual.
Yeah, it's where. Well, she probably.
She's actually not.
Is she not?
She just likes to say she is.
I feel it, girl. But
because she's not sexually active, so
hey.
I mean, maybe she is. I don't know, but she always likes to say she's asexual.
I understand that. So I think she was that. I don't think she liked sex for the intimacy part. I think she liked sex for.
She said, "Yes, I am."
You know what I'm talking about?
Just she wanted to reproduce.
Yeah, just to have a baby to have the perfect life.
Well, I mean, those text messages in that documentary say otherwise, but
yeah. But see, did you catch? Hold on, we're going ahead. Okay, so when her and Chris would have sex, he would have to wear a condom. He couldn't nut in her or on her. She did not like messes.
Messy, and I have a story that I'm not going to say because I can't. I'll tell you after we're not recording. It's not about me, but it's about people
I have a lot of stories like that.
Just regarding that, but yeah, that is yeah.
Like, how do you say that? Don't you do that on me. Like, what do you say? How do you say it? Don't Don't fucking touch me with that. Could you imagine how
Don't
awkward,
you do that on me.
Could you imagine how awkward the sex was?
Probably.
Just how weird. Because he was an awkward guy. She was very fucking anal and like, I mean, not even doing anal. So she not even doing anal in life and not in the butt, if that makes sense. So I think she basically just, and at this point she's still working at the hospital, and then she starts dabbling in those, pyramid schemes. Like, it works, the ones that bitches hit you up as you talk to.
One thing I have to say about pyramid schemes as a whole is that women don't just do one of them. They do all of them eventually. They hop around to different ones. So they're like, or they might have two going on at the same time.
That is true.
I'm doing this. Oh, I'm selling that.
Oh, look at me over here. I'm fucking perfect. Bitch, you ain't.
Yeah.
Turn that fucking camera off. I bet you, and we'll get into that. So she starts, as she's working at that children's hospital in Colorado, she's also on the side doing It Works, those shakes. And
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't.
It works for like a few days and then your fat comes back.
So then she starts with Lavelle, and she is a salesman anyway, because all narcissists are natural salesmen, because they know how to.
I wonder if my husband's a narcissist. He is a damn good salesman.
I don't think so.
He's just a bullshitter.
Yeah, some people just ain't narcissists, and they're just.
No, he's not a narcissist. He's just a bullshitter.
I'm a good salesman, but I think it's because I talk and my personality sometimes. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why people want to buy shit from me.
I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, I don't care if you buy it or not.
I try to tell the truth. Like, you see this couch over here? We got it for $300. He's trying to charge you $1,000. You want to be stupid? You have bad credit? You might as well just get it. And typically it worked. But she ended up being like fucking, still her. There's 2 kids now. She starts using Facebook to promote Lavelle, and she starts building her way up. She eventually starts having Chris do Lavelle, and she's running his. So then she also has Chris's mom, her dad, and she's running every one of theirs.
Are they all selling, or are they just
all selling?
Oh, they're all selling. Okay.
And it's actually her.
So they're
doing
not just doing it.
It's not just her. It's not them actually doing it. It's her doing all theirs. Chris said that he started wearing the patches. Oh, also during this time, Chris used to work out all the time. He wasn't allowed to work out after the marriage. After they got married, he wasn't. So he gained a lot of weight.
I saw videos, I feel like, of him working out, though.
Yeah, but this was after the fact. After, when she started Lavelle, she started allowing him to go to the gym and do things like that because it's going to show.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all came, and you see in some of the videos, too, she's obsessive. Where's your phone? She says it a lot. Where's your phone at? I just wanted to record the girl. Bitch, you just wanted to go through it. Why don't you fucking quit fronting? Why you have 74 videos today? We've seen every piece of your life. Also, a day in the life with them. The kids will be at daycare fucking all day. 10 hours a day is the most that you can have a kid in the daycare. They were there the most. Even though Shannan worked from home, her kids would be at daycare. And I guess some people do that. I guess it's different. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not trying to be judgy because I know what it's like to be a parent. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you just ain't sometimes it's hard. Period. But I feel like she wasn't around them that much. I don't know. She seemed like a good mom from what I've seen, but then I've also heard contradicting. But also in those places, you're also seeing a lot of people picking somebody apart. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what to believe when it comes to that shit. I feel like she probably wasn't horrible because wouldn't CPS have accepted? But see, I have a theory. A lot of people that I went down the rabbit hole, and a lot of people said that there had to have been a CPS case, and that's why maybe the girls had to be in daycare or some shit.
Is that how CPS works?
Sometimes if CPS steps involved, like maybe she yelled at them, or maybe she was high or something, and we'll get more to those theories too, because she did have a neck surgery, and I think that she got addicted to pain pills shortly after her neck surgery, because it just looks like it in her videos. Maybe I'm just a bitch, but I don't know. It just seemed to me that they both was on pills. They sniffed a lot. I don't fucking know, but I know a lot of people that do snort pills and do drugs like that, mm-hmm. they fucking sniff a lot. And I bet you if we looked up their noses, half that shit would be gone up in there. Mm-hmm. I just got that feeling. I've never personally snorted anything because I feel like my nose is too big and I would take like everything and die. So, like, I never have been a drug person,
That's what
you know?
lines are for.
I know, but I feel like my nostril so big that it would be, oh, you know, like I
like
would
a
say,
Hulk nose, like you're just gonna go.
like fuck yeah, you know. But let's stop with those theories because those are in fact just theories, not fucking factual shit.
Right.
But the facts is she was, you know, started working at Lavelle, started doing it and doing everybody else's. So basically, Chris had it on and off. Chris at this point ended up making up with his parents, and they were allowed to come, and so they would drop everything they're doing or have to, and come out there when she would want to go on traveling with her husband. Mm-hmm. And when she didn't, it was Chris. Chris was basically the caretaker, taking care of the kids. The kids would be at daycare 10 hours a day. They'd only be home for 1 hour before they was in bed at 7 p.m. They would be melatonin and out. I get being on a schedule. I get that 100%. I've seen moms do it where they have to put their kid down because they work. I get that. I haven't seen it to this extent, though.
See, I didn't even know about the daycare stuff. I didn't even know they were in daycare.
Oh, yeah. They were in, like, a preschool thing where they paid for that, too.
Right.
Because at this point, they had already filed bankruptcy one time. Mm-hmm. Because she had burned through everything. Because she was basically buying back most of her Lavelle stuff to reach the fucking level she was reaching. And so Lavelle ended up, because she got the $12K, Lavelle ended up paying her car note, which was that Lexus.
Right. Then that's how they do that. And that's how they get the cruises and
Chris never
trips.
even had a car. He had what Adecco had gave them.
That was a work truck.
He had a very nice Mustang, and she made him sell it. And he never worked on cars again after he got married either because she was Now, she did gift him something for his Mustang right before Bella was born. Mm-hmm. But she ended up taking it back. Like, he ended up selling it because Bella was coming and, you know, basically what happens. I'm going to take your dreams from you, too. Boom, that's going to be fucking gone. So they said, also Sandy and them, Frank moved in with him and them to take care of the kids to help Shannan when she was pregnant or with Cece. Mm-hmm. She was just very sick. So her parents moved in. He said he just had to deal with that every day too because supposedly they had dogs and it drove him crazy and shit like that. So we're getting into the gist of what the fuck happened that night. So basically that was their relationship. She was on Facebook a lot. Multiple Facebooks. It's too much to talk about. You can go look her up on Facebook, and most of her Facebooks are still on there. So, what are you guys thinking so far? Is it everything you hoped it would be? Do I make your dreams come true? No. So, we'll get into Chris meeting Nicole Kessinger at work. So, he's working, you know, at work. He was in the oil fields. Nicole Kessinger worked inside a deco plant, whatever the fuck they do there. She was kind of like the inside, and he kind of came in and seen her one day. And at first she said that they was just normal talking. This is why I don't like that work wife shit. Nah, we ain't fucking doing that.
Work wife.
You know, ever see, there's your work wife. Nah, bitch.
I've seen that before. It's weird.
It's weird.
A little weird.
You know what I'm saying? So no, we ain't doing that over here. But I guess they start talking, and eventually it gets to the point to where she's like, okay, you need, and at this point they're using the phone that Adecco uses, or whatever. I know I'm saying they're Art Adecco.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's a weird.
What is the what do I?
Where did Chris Watts work?
Okay. I'm pretty good with pronunciation.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right here.
What is it?
Anadarko Petroleum.
Anadarko.
There we go. I had to hear it. Anadarko Petroleum is where he worked at. Okay. So then he starts seeing her in the hallways when he's coming in from being out, and they're chatting. And then they start texting. He said at first it wasn't nothing. Like, she knew he was married. So let's just stop that right there. She knew. He said in the tapes that he literally had Shannan on the front of his phone.
Like, oh, no. She for sure knew he was married.
Oh, yeah. And then now a lot of people like to speculate and think that she had something to do with that also. I don't think she did per se making him do it. I think she said small shit just being a single woman with no kids.
Right.
Like, oh, God, let's go I want to do this, but you can't. And then he in his head kind of came up with the idea to do what the fuck he did.
But I do think she knew more as far as like how said that he told her that they were split up and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
But she
knew he was still married.
She searched Shannan
Yeah.
Watts on Facebook.
Like a
in
year before.
2017.
Yeah.
Like late, I can't remember. I think I wrote it down. I don't know. Late 2017 or something.
Mm-hmm. Like a whole year before.
Yeah, so...
It's wild.
You know what I mean? If you don't know he's married, then why are you looking up his ex-wife? And obviously, if you're looking her up on Facebook, you're seeing all of her
You
posts.
fucking know because she was public. Like, you could look up
Yeah.
her shit and she was public. She
Yeah.
was not playing no games, y'all.
No.
She was public for everybody to see.
Mhm.
You know, it ain't like how we lock shit
So
down.
Mrs. Nicole Kessinger was what you would call a homewrecker.
Yes, she fucking was.
And she knew everything that was going on. She didn't care.
No, she didn't.
Shiesty bitch.
Yes, she was. I don't agree with that bitch. I don't think that she's the innocent person in here. Oh, no, bitch. You fucking fucked a married man. He killed his whole family for you, and then you bounce.
Right.
I'm not saying you should have stayed. But I'm
Right.
saying, like, you gotta understand that you fucking... Yes, she did. She looked up Amber Fry when that shit happened.
What did she say?
She tried to get a book deal. Yeah, I know she did. But people fucking hate her. With Amber Fry, I really honestly believe Amber Fry did not know. You could tell she didn't know. That girl showed emotion, cried her fucking eyes out. Shit, that's a whole nother case. We'll talk about that one. I already talked about that case once. But, because he's innocent. Scott Peterson is innocent. I just want to throw that out there. Okay.
I'm kind of on the, I'm jumping on the bandwagon of Scott Peterson is innocent. I'm not 100% like totally on there yet.
There's some
but,
things
like,
he did that's crazy.
my friend Stephanie had me like look into it. She was telling me that she watched, the
Scott Peterson. Yep.
whatever it was, the
The-
documentary or
Yeah,
whatever.
on Hulu.
Yes, and I had watched it, but I kind of watched it like with a mind
Mindset
of
like, fuck him.
yes, exactly.
You gotta have an open mind.
Then after she was telling me like all this stuff, like her theory on why she thought he was innocent, then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna watch this with the thought in my mind that he
he's
didn't do
innocent.
this.
Yeah.
And as I was doing that, shit started making sense.
Yes, it's
a
all a
little more.
mind thing.
So
a lot of people think in this case that Chris didn't do anything but kill Shannan.
and I have to pee.
Okay.
So you can keep talking. But I have
yeah.
to relieve
Okay.
myself.
There's one over there or one right there.
Ah.
But-
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Messing everything
you're
up.
fine. You're fine. So they basically, where was I at? Okay, so he starts meeting her, and she's like, like basically talking to, yeah, Amber. I believe that too because I believe that Amber knew a little bit more than what she said, and then she jumped on the bandwagon. She did seem, what is it? She did seem sad, and she did try to help, but I think after the fact, I think that she might have, I don't know. Oh, that's a whole nother one. We'll get into that another day. But, so Chris starts meeting Nicole. She's pumping up his head, just like mistresses do. They get you thinking, oh, you're fucking fine. What does she see? Why she treats you that way? And I'm pretty sure he had very valid reasons to express his home life. Nicole did say that he was kind of go with the flow. He kind of talked about cars all the time, and she just listened. Basically, she just listened to him. And he needed that, I'm guessing. He needed to feel like he was getting attention. He needed to feel like he was loved. And then he said, like, after a while, kind of Shannan would just be, which ain't an excuse to run, but she would, like, be on her phone a lot. He had to beg for sex. I mean, basically, it's 8 years into the marriage.
He was the one begging for sex? I thought it was her.
Oh, this is before. This is what Nicole said that, what's her name, told.
Oh, told him, okay.
Yeah, what Chris told her, that he was that she didn't like to get messy.
Damn, that went fast.
I know. That she didn't like to get messy, that she was basically just kind of mean to him. You know, kind of controlled him, told him what to do, all of his money. And so the first time, so they ended up, this is where it gets kind of, I think that they were broke up. I think they were broke up when she went to North Carolina. I think that she just didn't tell
Chris
people.
and Shannan
Yeah.
were split up?
Because why the fuck would you leave for 6 weeks? I mean, some people do, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to that kind of
I
relationship.
mean, that kind of makes sense, though.
But she's not, and she's so controlling, but maybe.
Like, maybe they were having problems, and that's why she was like, all right, I'm going to go to my parents for a weeks or whatever.
And then Nutgate happened. Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you remember what happened on that?
What?
When Shannan went to North Carolina, she went to visit Chris and them's parents.
The allergy thing.
A kid grabbed some ice cream that was near Cece. I get that. I understand. Well, let's also say that Shannan was a very sickly kid. Guess what? Both of Shannan's were very sickly. I think that Shannan's mom had Munchausen by proxy, and Shannan took after it in the same thing, just a fucking cycle. Kind of like Gypsy Blanchard Lee, whatever her name is.
Gypsy Blanchard Lee.
Is that her name?
No.
Just like her.
Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose, yeah.
I don't
Just
know
like
where the Lee came from.
I don't know. Probably Christopher Lee White's. So, she fucking, I think that she had that in some sort, always made Shannan think that she was fucking sick. And then it kind of trickled down to Shannan did the same thing. Her kids.
So you don't think she actually had the allergy? You think that?
I think she did, but Chris said it wasn't an anaphylactic allergy. Mm-hmm. So why would you carry an EpiPen? She just got a rash.
Oh, okay.
So she had a rash of tree nuts. But also, and I'm going to get to this when we talk about the night before they died or whatever, or the night the babysitter watched them. I'll tell you what Bella said to the babysitter. So,
I heard that.
Did you hear?
Listen to the
you
tapes
see what I'm talking about? The kind of craziness. Like, why the fuck
Yeah.
would you know that? But and I guess Cindy was kind of like, this is the fucking it, bitch. You ain't gonna come to my house after I just spent $300 to get the food that you like. Mm-hmm. You're coming up at my house and getting mad at me because another grandkid, and Shannan blew up in front of kids and everything. She didn't give a fuck. She was cussing. Cindy was cussing like, you got me fucked up. I done spent $300.
Well,
I
do remember hearing that, like, she said that, like, it can't even be that if your parents are going to have this even in the same house, that she's not going to be able to go over there.
Right.
So it wasn't like she just can't have it. It was like,
you can't even have it in your house.
This in the house, then you can't see.
She had to control every situation. Yeah. Like, you can't, like, so what would you do at birthday parties? Just like the one they went to the day before they died. You told clearly you can't have cake. Let me pull you over here. Why can't you have cake?
Right.
Who the fuck's allergic to cake? Is there people allergic to cake?
I don't know.
Shit.
I guess stuff that's in cake.
Maybe.
Like
dairy.
Eggs.
Eggs.
My nephew, he's grew out of that allergy, but he was allergic to eggs. So
see, some kids just have a reaction on their body.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a reaction of, no, I really haven't. But it's not saying it's not out there, but I just have never physically seen anybody.
Seen what?
I've seen people have allergic reactions where they break out, but I know that there's people that's throats closed up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in the tapes, he told the police, Cece her throat never closed up or nothing like that. But then I think, why were you carrying an EpiPen then?
Right.
She just got a small rash. So they did an allergy test. The kids were going through all kind of medical stuff. Mm-hmm. Have an allergy test done. I just think they were drugged a lot, and it just made them be lethargic and tired. I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking at it all the way and don't have all the facts, but to me it just seemed like they're sick an awful lot. Typically when you have sick kids, you don't have both sick kids, or maybe it was that house, that poison of a house that they still can't sell.
It's not sold?
Mm-mm. The bank still put it to sell, but nobody wanted it. Because could you imagine just going out to enjoy your coffee and you got a memorial fucking shrine outside?
Yeah.
Well, and then it's sad. People record it. I've seen on Snapchat, people are on there fucking going by, I just want you back. That fucking sad song.
Would you be like driving by and playing that?
Yeah, playing that.
Oh, wow.
White flag.
I get it at the same time, but
It's
some people are fucking crazy.
Some people just want to be a part of the drama, the attention of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And people might say this for me because I want to do a podcast, but no, fuck. I just want to have a different concept on it. So, what's crazy is that we're getting closer to what's gonna fucking happen. I know you're like, damn bitch, just tell us. So at this point, it's slowly he's starting to, I'm guessing, open up and be himself. Because for 8 years now, he ain't been able to be himself. Now he's actually starting to. So she goes to North Carolina. We don't know why. I guess to visit. And then Nutgate happens where
Nutgate.
a big fight happens. That's what they called it. A big fight happened, and then she told basically Shannan told her, Cindy Watts and them, you can't be around my kids whatsoever. And Chris said when he finally, so while Chris is at home alone, that entire 6 weeks he never stayed in the house. He was always with Nikki. He always did things with Nikki. They went to, she was very outdoorsy. She ate clean. She was like one of them vegans.
They had hella pictures together.
They had hella pictures. And he had a fake calculator app on his phone where all the nudes and shit that she would send
that's what I never
would go to that.
If you're gonna, that's not the thing. I feel like he either they were already broken up when she went to South Carolina, North Carolina. But it's like why? It's like if you were gonna cheat on your wife, why would you?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Smile.
I wouldn't want to be in the fucking picture.
No.
Bitch, you better put that goddamn phone down.
And he was the one holding the camera.
Right. He was pumped. That's another thing. And so, that's why a lot of people think that the night before the night that she was out of town, he used that card that he never used.
Because he wanted her to find out.
Because he wanted her to find out.
That's what he even said in the interviews.
Well, and
he was just like, I don't even care anymore.
And he said he didn't. And then today, when I was reading that, it said something like, well, I didn't really pay attention, but she actually knew I used a different card. Because he would get these gift cards from...
What?
Where did he work at again?
Oh,
Anadarko, and he would get gift cards from them. I guess we're doing good at his job, and that's what he ate on for 6 weeks with her. He never used his credit card because, let me tell y'all, she controlled every piece of penny he had. He was not allowed to do anything without asking her first. There's a difference when a man does that with his wife because she handles the bills, but he still knows how much money he has. Chris did not know what he had financially. He didn't know that they were about to be foreclosed on. He didn't know that the HOA fees on the house were doubling and she had not paid them, so now they were taking them to court. They were doing court.
Fuck an HOA fee.
Yeah.
I'll
fuck that. Yeah.
So I ain't paying shit to live nowhere.
Fuck no. Hell no. So she's basically... She's in Tennessee, or shit, it's a whole different area. She's in Nashville, or shit. She's in North Carolina, and they're just basically, chilling, I guess. She's there with the kids. She gets mad at Cindy and them, and she ends up going back home. There was a big fight. So this whole time, Chris is there with Nicole, doing things with her. Going camping. He's living his fucking best life. He ain't got no kids, no wife, nothing. And he did that for 6 weeks. At the end of July, he flew back to North Carolina to see his kids. And at this point, that's when the text messages start coming in you fucking suck.
One thing that I want to say about the him coming back or whatever, whatever it was I remember on the Netflix documentary, she was texting him and she was like, let me know when you come down the elevators or the escalators so I can record the girls seeing you. And I just kind of thought, I don't think that's weird.
I don't.
Because I feel like a lot of people do that. But it just shows, where her mind was.
Yeah, she wasn't even giving a fuck that they haven't even seen each other in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That he's been ignoring every fucking call she had. Mm-hmm. Clearly, every goddamn call she had, he was like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't listening. And then so that she would get mad and hang up on him. And then she was writing her friends. Of course, you've seen the fucking documentary. I think everybody has. And that's what kicked this shit back up again was that documentary.
Mm-hmm.
We've been living this shit for 2 or 3 years. What the fuck's this thing coming around? So at this point, he's coming down the stairs, and then I don't think he looked any different than any other normal. So at this point, we should say, and I think everybody knows, she's pregnant again with the third boy. With her boy.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, sorry. We done skipped Nico. Sorry about that. But she was pregnant with him, and, or she didn't know it was a him yet. So she's pregnant, and she finds that out, we'll get into that. So they get to North Carolina. He's real standoffish. And this is where shit gets fucked up. So I don't know how the fuck he got Oxycontin unless they have a prescription. Mm-hmm. And to me, it seems like they did. Because in one of the things I read, Shannan had that neck surgery. and this is where my theory comes in, that she had that neck surgery and she was took that strong medication, because when you have neck surgery, I've had 2 back surgeries, so I know a thing or two about pain medicine. But oxycodone is a strong ass pain medicine.
Yeah.
Okay, so and motherfuckers sell that shit on the streets, and they'll kill people over that shit. I mean, you got people doing that shit all day long. So it doesn't seem too far-fetched that maybe she did it, maybe before she got pregnant, and then left them at the house. But somehow he ended up bringing some to North Carolina, and this is all factual. He ends up crushing them up and sending them in her drink. So one night, she's violently throwing up in the sink, and her brother comes through and is helping her, and he's like, where's Chris? She's like, I don't fucking know. He's outside. The whole time that he was in North Carolina, he'd be outside. He was talking to Nikki. That's what I think is so weird. Like, how did you get away from her? And then they talked on the phone for fucking hours. So he had to be in a different part of the house when they were together.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why a lot of it didn't match up to me. So I think at this point, Nikki was one of those people that had a lot of guy friends, and I think she was trying to kind of making him jealous too, kind of playing with his brain too. She seen what kind of man he was.
Yeah.
I don't think she let him think he was in control. I don't think that he was ever in any situation. And so I think the first attempt he tried to do was actually he's smart and stupid at the same time. But I think that he wanted to give her oxycodone and to kill her to make it look like she overdosed, which would have been feasible, and I don't even know what the word feasible is. I made that up.
Did you mean feasible?
Feasible.
Feasible.
Feasible. How do you say
Well, okay, see, I think what you were trying to go through is you were trying to, like, say, like, a thesis, which is, like...
Yeah.
Whatever,
And that's
like a
telling me I
theory
need to
type
do
thing.
my work, right?
So you said feasible?
Yeah. That's exactly
feasible.
what happened.
It's okay.
Feasible. Yeah, there we go. So,
You are just like my friend Stephanie, by the way. She can't
hello,
talk either.
Stephanie. How you doing?
She can't talk.
We're gonna get t-shirts made. I'm your new BFF.
Sometimes her words come out and they don't make any sense.
I do this shit.
It
a
happens
lot.
to me too, though. So I love your all's because my friend Steph, she mispronunciates shit all the time, and it's hilarious. And so do you.
I know it's crazy.
Shannan,
and I just said her name, so people are gonna hate me. They're like, you fucking. You disrespectful whore.
Shannan.
I promise you I'm not. I'm really illiterate, so fuck. Okay, so he makes her a shake earlier that day, but how the fuck do you not know that you took Oxycontin? That's another thing. You know you were high. You know you got high enough that you... Okay, so if you didn't take anything and you take a fucking Oxycontin, you're going to be on the floor. You ain't going to be getting up. You are violently going to be throwing up unless you're eating on it. But... He tried to abort the baby. Then
You ain't got what it was.
Yeah, he said in the thing. I only set off words that he said because a lot of people say shit, but a lot of people's like, well, he don't know what he says. He lies. But why the fuck would you lie now? The case is over with. I think he just lied a lot to protect people or protect. In the beginning, he was lying to protect Nicole too, but that shit blew up when she fucking. Okay, so he does the Oxycontin thing.
Are we close to the murder yet?
Yeah. God,
Okay.
it feels like it's been forever, ain't it?
I feel like
Motherfucker. It's been an hour and 14 minutes.
Damn.
That's why I said it's going to be a big ass long case.
Yeah.
But see, when I look at other podcasts, they go longer than this.
Oh, yeah. I see,
The crime junkie ones.
See, I don't listen to those. Those are the difference. If
I
I see a podcast that's like 3 hours long, I'm like, no.
Like, who the fuck is that? Alright, so they're in North Carolina. They get the fucking... He tries to poison and kill her, but it didn't work. His thought process there was... He wanted it to look... I just threw up my mouth. He wanted it to look like a fucking... Like, what is it called? A suicide? No. An accidental overdose. That's what he wanted. Well, during this whole time, his whole family's not even talking to him. They're pissed at him. They're pissed at her. They're pissed. I don't know why you take that on your kid, but they're pissed at him too. They're like, fuck you. At this point, you fucking know what's going on, motherfucker. Clean, clean. Fuck y'all off, basically. So, they end up coming back. Nothing eventful happened. I think the last day he was going to stay there, he went to see his parents. He got to talk to him. And Shannan called, and he was like, I'm fine. I'm going to stay here. She goes, I'm on my way. And she come and got him and drove an hour. Like, because his dad's like, I'm not driving you fucking an hour. And he was like, she's like, I will, of course. So they get back to North Carolina, and this is when I think shit just goes south. Just gets into the doom zone. I think he just lived a while, single, got the taste of it, and didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, I think that's what had happened there. So let's fast forward to the weekend before the murders. They were murdered on a Sunday, Monday morning type deal. Kind of going into Sunday, Monday. So we'll start with that Friday. We'll start with that Saturday. Shannan had to go out of town that Friday to Arizona. So she did. And during the whole time, of course, you've seen it on the thing. She's talking about how this shit's fucked up. Oh, okay. So the week before she went to Arizona, they were going to have a baby reveal, a gender reveal. Mm-hmm. But Chris was just so shut down at this point.
Yeah, I remember that. She canceled it.
She canceled it and found out it was a boy.
Yeah.
So she knew for like a week it was a boy before she died, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fucking sad. So it's like, I'm not even a person that gets emotional about shit. I don't. I think it's because I have a little girl. Maybe not. And because normally I'm like a hard ass bitch. I'm like, fuck this. And I don't give a fuck. Looking at dead bodies and shit. It don't bother me.
Yeah.
And I think just the sadness of hearing a dad talk about how he murdered them twice. He tried to kill them twice. That's what he said.
Right.
This is all what he said. Now, a lot of people don't want to believe what he said. Mm-hmm. So that Saturday, while Shannan was in Arizona, and of course texting him, she bought him. This is the part that I think is sad. I think Shannan didn't realize how she was, and I think she really did love Chris because there's no proof that she ever cheated on him.
No, yeah, I feel like that was apparent in like the documentary.
Yeah,
you could tell like how much she
tried to
did love him.
Yeah, she tried to fix it. She tried to love him more. She tried to get him books on Amazon and have him read them. She tried to say, let's get this marriage together. But also, Chris said that she was always shut down in her first marriage. Then her second one, she kind of flew off the handles. Was uncontrollable. You couldn't control her because it had happened to her before. A lot of people get like that. After they've been controlled in the first marriage, in the second marriage, they kind of get their own. He basically said that he let Cheyenne be who she was. He never tried to control her. He said that his words were, I never tried to change her like she changed me. Like she tried to change me. Mm-hmm. So that's what he said. So at this point, he's still fucking Nikki a lot. A lot. So he's like, shit, I need to get a babysitter. So he calls his friend, and his friend at the same time says, hey, do you just want to go to the Denver Broncos game with me? And his friend's like, and then Chris is like, no. But can you have your daughter come babysit for me? And then the guy was like, yeah. He said, I have to go to a Rockies game from my work, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I'll have her there at 4:30. So her mom drops the girl off, and I was listening to hers. And she said she went in there. Everything seemed normal. Nothing was out. This was a Saturday. And he was just at 4:30. He had already got them in their PJs. Artie had gave them their medicine by 5. Because I think he was out there by 5. Mm-hmm. Basically, he's like, hey, I'm going to order you pizza. They order Papa John's pizza. And I know that's weird that I know this shit. It's so strange that how my memory works. But I feel like y'all want to fucking know that. All right?
I like Papa John's.
I do too.
Sounds good.
God, you want some pizza? I'll order right now. I swear to God I will. We've been going at this for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Strap your boots on. It's about to be fucking cool.
Start a GoFundMe for
Not
pizza.
cool. God, I'm going to get pizza. Where's my phone? Shh. My phone's right there. I can't even do it. Alright, so he fucking basically tells, what was it? Okay, so he tells her, like, hey, and Shannan at this point knew that he was going to a game. That's what she thought. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he leaves, and she's watching the kid, and as she's on the couch with the kid, Cece kind of fell asleep before Bella, and Bella was like, my sister can't have coconuts. She'll die.
Yeah, and I'll never see her
again.
And
I'll never see her again. That just goes to show you what that little girl picked up. Ain't that fucking sad?
That is kind of weird.
And then a lot of the videos that the Critical K shows, it shows how they got their temperature took in their fucking ass, and they're always like bending over and trying to stick thermometers in their butts.
What?
Constantly. Their babies always have thermometers, like pictures of thermometers. I don't know why she shared this much. It was strange. Weird. Like Shannan did that. Like would share, like, I don't know why she took rectal temperatures after a certain age. I can get being a newborn. You have to with newborns.
Right.
But after a certain age,
Well,
you stop.
from as early back as I can remember, my mom used to put it in my armpit.
Yeah, that's what I did. I
I
don't think I ever took baby's
have a
rectal. No, when
conscious-
she was a newborn, I did.
I don't feel like I have a conscious memory of me ever getting like.
A thermometer in the butt.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was always my armpit.
So these little girls, 3 and 4, were still doing. That's kind of different.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I haven't. They still got rectal temperatures. They still, and then they would show pictures of them doing it. But let's go past that. So he goes out to eat at some lazy dog shit. Or it's not lazy dog shit. It's a lazy dog restaurant, and he, it's $68 or some shit. And Shannan's back in Arizona, like, Arizona, Nicole. Nicole Atkinson is the other, her friend. So we'll call Nikki. Nikki Kessinger, the mistress, is Nikki. And Nicole is Shannan's friend.
See, I know him as the opposite. I thought Nicole's,
Oh, really?
I thought Shannan's friend was Nikki.
I have no fucking idea.
And then the other girl was Nicole.
We'll say Shannan's friend.
Okay, whatever.
Atkinson. Ain't that her name?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, we'll say Atkinson. Okay, so she's with her basically talking, and you know how it is with your girls. You're kicking it. You're telling them fucking everything. And I kind of felt like she wanted to be her, so
Who wanted to be
Nicole
her?
Atkinson.
Wanted to be Shannan.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it was kind of a looking up to situation, and so she probably believed anything that she said. You know?
Yeah.
So she's basically doing that. He's fucking Nikki. He went home. He had to be home by 10:30 to relieve her. And the mom picked up the babysitter. She didn't have to take her. He didn't have to take her nowhere. Then it goes into Sunday. Sunday, he ends up taking them to a birthday party. It was the last picture they ever got taken, and all this other shit. And they basically are, and he takes them back home. And he said he did not do this to them that night before bed. He put them to bed. He didn't. He said it was kind of there, but it wasn't. Like it didn't kind of happened all at once, but he kind of knew it was going to happen. He said he felt that the kids wasn't going to be there. So Monday, the kids were supposed to start preschool again.
And he called and told them that they weren't going to be starting.
So, and then Shannan comes in.
Which to me, I feel like shows premeditation.
Yeah. Shannan comes in at 2 a.m. and we don't know what the fuck happened. People think, but from what Chris says she gets home. Her shoes are in the foyer when you walk in. Her shoes in her suitcase. In her purse or some shit, and she goes upstairs. What I don't get, when her body was found, she had a bra on.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody fucking sleeps in their bra unless you're a psychopath.
Yeah, I think he killed her I think he killed her as soon as she got home.
He tries to say that and she didn't fight. That's what I don't.
She said they had sex, and then the morning after was whenever he killed her.
So when he said they had sex and he went to sleep, and when they woke up. That's when all hell broke loose. Mm-hmm. Like, he kind of was like, I don't want to be with you. And she was like, why? What the fuck did we just have? Any normal bitch is going to be like, you got me fucked up.
Right.
You just fucked me, and now you're trying to tell me you're going to leave me?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is she? You know?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is she?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going immediately. Mm-hmm. You don't even call me once in a day. I'm going to say, who the fuck is she?
And I think she did that.
And that's exactly what she did.
She had done it before.
And he probably said... And then part of me thinks that he was at this point, it didn't snap. He already knew what he was going to do. Mm-hmm. At this point, he probably told her every goddamn thing. We don't know. Why else wouldn't you fight?
Well, I think honestly, but obviously it showed, like the toxicology report showed that there was no...
Did you know also that she was legally drunk?
I did see that, but...
That's factual shit, ladies and gentlemen. She had alcohol in her system.
But what is that from?
She was on a plane. She was on a vacation. She drunk. She was drunk.
You think she was drinking while she was pregnant?
Do you also? Yeah. Why would you have alcohol that high level in your...
How high was it, though?
Google it. Fuck. It was on the, Oh, shit. The kids also had, some issues with their toxicology, too. So it's crazy. Yeah. It's wild, man. I don't know. But She, from what I read, I tried to look. I don't know who said.
Okay, this is kind of weird, but this is what it says. A toxicology report was conducted on each body. The blood alcohol concentration level for Watts' spleen blood measured 0.128%. But Weld County District Attorney Michael Rourke said that at the news conference, that measure doesn't mean she had been drinking. The level is consistent with decomposition based on where and how she was buried.
That makes no fucking sense. I've never heard of that. Oh, her body was buried this way, so she's drunk.
Stephanie, if my friend Stephanie's still watching, she might know this. She is like a fucking
Forensic pathologist. That's what I want to be too.
she's a mortician. Well, she's not a mortician. She went to school to be a mortician, but she hasn't gotten a job to do that yet. But she's embalmed bodies and shit. So
she said, "Yes, it does." Shit,
her,
really?
Yes, what does?
Are you meaning yes that it could be like that? It could say you're drunk when
it's absolutely possible. Where does the alcohol come from, though?
Yeah, how do they get that? Oh, okay. So maybe she wasn't drunk. There I go being a judgy bitch while I'm drinking. God damn it, Stephanie.
She was on vacation.
We had one fucking...
She was having a good time.
I was ready to just throw her out to dry. It's not saying you're drunk. Okay. So, damn. Oh, girl must have... I just wanted to tell you how long my nails look right now. Yeah, Nikki. Nikki's my cousin. Yeah, I got a new mic. And I'm LD, and I couldn't figure out how to get it to have her mic work, too. So we just stuck with one, and I'm praying to God that this podcast records. And last time I went over an hour on my live and never recorded my video. It wouldn't let me save my video. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, but at least it'll be on Facebook.
That's okay. At least I'll hate myself less when I...
Right. But you look good. So, where were we? Okay.
About how she had the alcohol in her system.
Yeah.
Which, that's what I thought I had heard. Because I remember hearing that she had some sort of alcohol in her system. But I was thinking that it was
maybe something to do with the way she... Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
So,
Our body produces it naturally.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. So, she ended up fucking... What does she do? Okay, so we don't really know what happened. We just know what Chris says. We know what evidence says. Do you think... This is where people come in with their theories. Do you think that he killed the girls first? And, okay, so he did say they woke up again. I believe he tried to smother them the first time and it didn't work.
Yeah.
That when he got done killing Shannan, that's when Bella comes in and he realizes, holy fuck, they're alive. So then he said, I had to put them in the oil so they wouldn't get up again. Or some shit like that.
To make sure that they were...
To make sure they were completely dead. But then they did ask, hey, okay, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, he kills Shannan some way, somehow. Strangulation? Is that what it is?
Strangulation, yeah.
He kills her by strangling her, choking her to death. We don't know if it's from behind or if it's from the front. Did they ever say that?
No, I don't think so.
But
not from what I know.
It just don't make no sense. She had to be laying on her stomach and be not fighting back. Like, you can't get back here if you're not
I think he did it while she was sleeping.
Like, fucked up on a Oxycontin? Was that even in her system?
No. I don't think anything was in her system like that. But I'm saying, maybe she was asleep and he just got on top of her while she was sleeping.
And smothered her?
Because, like it said, there was no signs of her fighting back.
Yeah, she had
and
nothing.
even, her dad said, she was, a fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? She wouldn't have just...
She wouldn't...
laid there and
he
let
had
him...
to have caught her. But why would she lay down and... Do you think she was laying down when he did it? Because how else?
Yeah.
Because if he would have came behind her like this, his arms would have been scratched off.
Right. Or she would have bit him or something.
Yes, or something. So, she must have went to sleep with the bra on. The bra on fucking kills me. I'm still I don't know, man. He couldn't have caught her on guard. Do you think she laid in bed and just didn't want to take off anything? But still, I could not even pretend. You know when shit's weird and you're trying to get your husband to pay attention to you. Shit. You know what I'm talking about? With you and your man.
He would not get her. He would not get her while he was. Yeah, she said. Yeah, he was a pussy. He would not get her while she was awake.
Yeah,
I don't
believe
think
that.
so either. See, I don't think he
It's hard. It is hard to choke somebody to death. It takes a good 7 minutes or some shit. Imagine doing this.
How do you know?
It's like a 6 or 7 minute thing. I don't know.
Does it really take that long?
It's a good amount of time.
See, and like my whole thing is like, I feel like if you're strangling somebody, like I feel like you're not gonna really for sure know if they're like dead. Like that's not like a foolproof way to kill somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
They could still live.
Right. I wonder if she was still alive.
What do you mean?
Would they have been able to tell if she was alive, if she was buried alive? Wouldn't there be dirt in her lungs or something?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So.
Never mind. I didn't even know about that.
I don't think she was alive when she was buried.
And that's why the girls were dead when they went, because there was no oil in their lungs.
There wasn't?
I don't think. From what I looked. I skimmed the discovery and autopsy, and I didn't see that part. There's a lot of shit that was redacted. I don't understand.
I know there was, yeah.
So that's why it makes this case also. So he ends up killing her. Bella wakes up from being strangled again and ends up fucking like coming. What's wrong with mommy? And he said, "Mommy's sick," is what he said. Mommy ain't feeling good.
Yeah, I don't believe that he I don't believe that he killed the girls in
the house.
His car. No, in his car.
Oh,
I don't feel like he drove them alive to the oil site and then killed them there. I feel like he killed them before.
I think he tried to kill them
house.
before. Oh, but he said they were up running around while he was dragging Cheyenne down the steps. Bella ended up getting up and they ended up playing and running through the house as he was dragging her, because he put a plastic bag over her head and over her feet so it didn't look like, the girls couldn't see her. Because why else would he put the bag over her head and feet? If they were dead, he would have carried her out. And also in one of the videos, you can clearly see little feet. Like just a shadow, in my opinion, it looks like little feet because I watched it over and over again. And you can see him bend down and pick something up. The feet are gone. The little shadow's gone, and he gets in the car. So I think that they were alive. He said they was alive all the way out there.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. But I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I mean, obviously I can't wrap my brain around it.
He said they didn't have a fucking car seat. He said they were sitting back on each other's lap and she was under them.
I can't pick like. It was like a 45-minute drive out there.
Like, yeah. So
like,
that's why it makes it even
that far, and he in his head. You know what I mean?
I think he's telling the truth because he was crying hysterically. Well, not hysterically, but he was really choked up when he was saying that part. He said, "I don't know what was wrong with me. I just couldn't stop. I knew what I was doing. It took it took a while for me to get out there, but I was tore up."
And then he even was like, "Oh yeah, I was wondering, could I have saved my girl's life?" Yeah.
You fucking dumbass.
You could have not fucking smothered him.
That'd be the first fucking thing you could have done.
Maybe.
I can understand why some people want to kill their significant other. I'm not saying I would.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not right.
It's not right.
I can see that, but I can't see hurting a child for one, let alone your own child.
Especially, he was the one that took care of him, basically.
Yeah. And Bella looked
so close.
exactly like him. Like, yeah. Cece looked just like Shannan, and Bella looked just like him.
That's true. It's crazy, man. It is. So, he drives. It takes an hour. He may have killed them both when he got there. Why would he make it sound worse than it was? I mean, I think she was laying on the couch because that's where they found her phone. Oh, the fuck what? That does make some kind of sense. Because, no. He said he threw the phone, just threw it into the, couch to hide it.
Yeah.
But then, where was it when the police had the video camera?
They
found
upstairs.
it. Wasn't it on the fucking thing right there?
I don't know where it was, but I remember it was upstairs because there was a banister.
Yeah.
And they were standing by the banister, and then he was
like,
look.
It's his lifeline.
Yeah. They were like, look, it's her phone.
Yeah.
And, so they weren't downstairs.
So he ends up taking them out. So we're going to go with I guess we're going to shoot with the theory that they are still alive because that's the worst one possible. That it's what he said, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what he said.
But a lot of people think that he's lying in that she killed the girls and he killed her.
Right.
There's a long line of people, and I was one of them until I actually heard him speaking about it because I don't give a fuck how much you are under control of somebody, you are not going to admit the things that he admitted to if you didn't kill your kid.
You're not going to, and you're not going to try that hard to cover up.
You're not going to be that devastating about it.
For your dead spouse.
Fuck
you know
no,
what I mean?
she's already dead. Why would you need to cover up for her? Because she's fucking dead.
Exactly.
You killed her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, they was, he gets them into the car, and that's when the guy 2 houses down sees them backing up. He never backed into the car or garage, and it takes like an hour to get out to the Survey 9. So this is the thing. On Friday, somebody had called him and told him he needed to go check the Survey 939 place. That was the name of the oil field out there. That he needed to go check it, and his friend said he would go with him. During the ride, he calls him and says, "Hey, where are you at? Are you out there?" And you're like, "No." He's like, "Well, then you're good. You don't need to come out here. I'm going to do it myself." He also had gasoline because he said he was really thought about just killing himself too. But he also, this is how fucked up he is. This is how it tells you he's so fucked up. I won't get on the fact that I think Thrive had something to do with it. He double patched himself with that crazy shit. And there's so many fucking stories out here because this guy had no mental illness, nothing. He had nothing wrong. There's nothing in his past to show him being a killer. None of that shit. There's always a step somewhere going the fuck around that you're going to pinpoint. That's it right there. That's why he fucking killed. With this is why everybody find it fucking shocking because there's not one on for him. So, a lot of people think that it's because of the patch. It just kind of made him fucking hyper crazy. He wasn't getting enough sleep, sleep deprivation, all that shit. Mixed into all the feelings you're having, too. And so, he said he wanted to kill himself, but he didn't want to hurt innocent people, is what he said. I didn't want to blow up that place and it kill somebody else. You just murdered your whole fucking family.
Why do you care about innocent people?
That's why the cop was like...
You just killed 2 innocent children.
Yeah, the cop was like, I really honestly think you was a good guy. I think that you just snapped. I don't think this was premeditated. The cop was sitting there saying that to me. But cops have to play good cop, bad
exactly.
cop.
And
get what they want
another
to.
thing that's why I don't agree with the theory that they think that she killed the kids.
No, I used to.
That never came about until the detective said, "Hey, maybe something happened
to the kids."
Maybe,
and that's what he said.
She did something, and you felt like you needed to do it to her. And then that's when he took that and he fucking ran with it.
Yes, he sure
because
did.
He was like, "Well, maybe, I'll still admit to hurting her, but I don't want to be labeled a baby killer."
Yeah, that's
like
true.
People get labeled and then they get raped in prison because they killed kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that's really what. He knew he needed to come clean about it, but he didn't want to take full responsibility for it. So they said maybe something happened because that's what police do.
They try to manipulate.
And ways to get you to start talking. Yeah, and
maybe
they have to come up with their own stories and be like, maybe this happened.
And the first story that people typically tell in a murder, they're gonna try to not put as much blame on themselves when they tell.
Well, yeah.
So that's why he's like, okay, I was fucking Shannan. And a lot of people ran with it. I was one of those people like, maybe he didn't have this, but then when I started fucking really digging into it, because from an outsider point of view, you really don't know. She said, who's getting raped? From an
hopefully Chris Watts.
Oh, but listen to this shit. So, in the things that he was talking, he said that in Colorado, that prison, when he went there, that they were like, you need to fucking kill yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Like, he couldn't see these people. That's what he heard all day long. Hey, I'm going to tell you exactly how to kill yourself. You need to get that sheet. And they were really doing him like that. Like, they were really trying to fuck him up. And he was like, I don't even... So... It's fun. It's crazy, not fun. It's crazy to get ahead of it because it's like you want to because you have all these thoughts on it. But so he gets out there. He buries Shannan in the fucking little field, a little far away. Leaves
shallow grave.
That's what I don't understand. He leaves them in the car, the 2 girls. Why ain't they running around? Probably scary out there. And
maybe he killed them before he buried her. I know that's what he said, but
I know what
maybe
you're saying.
He was lying.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he smothered them and they never did actually wake up. He just in his brain thinks they did.
Possible.
Because he's a psychopath. No, because you don't know.
I feel like he wants to seem as
with the kids,
humane as possible.
As humane as possible, yeah.
So he wants to act like things went a certain way.
That's
when
true.
Maybe they didn't.
No, I think they fell asleep, but if the theory's true,
In the car, they fell asleep on the way there.
if they fell asleep on the way there, that makes more sense. He gets her out, he takes her over there, he buries her.
Yeah, but he himself was the one that said that he put the blanket over Cece. And then whatever.
In front of Bella.
Yes.
Like, that makes it worse.
She started freaking out and was like, oh no, are you going to do that to me too?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? It's
and
like,
he just grabs
why
her.
would he just like pull that out of his ass?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that didn't really happen.
Right. That's another
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Why would he make it worse?
Yeah, because that makes it sound like
or because he's
sad.
in prison and people have aimed him up to be this crazy motherfucker and he's in there for the rest of his fucking life. What if he's just trying to be like, you know what, I gotta look as mean as possible because somebody's gonna fuck with me. Because when you fuck with the kids in jail, it's fucking over with for you.
Yeah, but like it's not like it's. If he wants to look like Billy Badass, then that's not the way to look like Billy Badass. Because you're just gonna get your asshole invaded if you do that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're gonna invade that butthole for sure.
But apparently, I heard that he's housed with
He's housed with pedophiles
disabled
and snitch cops.
I heard disabled. He was housed with disabled inmates.
It said that when he was talking, I don't know how long ago those tapes were. I think a year ago, and he may have been moved since then. But when he got moved from Colorado to somewhere else, I think Wisconsin.
She said Brandy's drunk.
Right. I'm feeling it. So when he went to what was it? He went to Wisconsin or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? I think that's where he's at now.
Somewhere, yeah, he's in Wisconsin. He's in the Wisconsin.
He's at the one that fucking Stephen Avery was at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's near there because I've seen it on the fucking documentary. But he didn't even get told that he was being moved. So fast forward, he fucking kills Cece in front of Bella, then kills Bella, strangles Bella, you know, and she bites her tongue, you know. So then, I'm going to tell y'all, he puts these fucking kids into the, that 8-inch hole, and their skin is scraping off of it. Like when you put them down in the hole, it's so small. It's only 8 inches wide. Right. He said that Bella's shoulders and stuff got fucked up, and he said he heard the sound hit, and he knew. I don't know. He just liked hearing that. I don't know if he liked hearing that.
He heard it hitting the oil.
He heard it hitting the oil, and he said it was the strangest oil. And he said that's one of the things he hears every day. And her saying, "No, Daddy, don't."
Daddy, no.
Which you should, bastard. I hope you hear that shit every goddamn day.
Yeah, and he also, there was a lot of controversy around, like, whether or not they were going to allow him to have photos.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
No, I heard they didn't let him.
Oh, they didn't?
No. Well, that's what I heard was that they would let anybody else have them, but the fact that they were his murder victims, they were like, no, you can't have photos of them.
That's crazy. I would want to plaster the wall in them. You know?
Yeah, but why? But my whole thought is why would he want that? You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Like why would he request that he wants photos? You know?
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
And now he's found God now,
right,
so I guess he's...
So during this whole fucking time...
golden ticket to heaven.
He's still talking to Nicole Kessinger, and that bitch is dumb, thinks she's gonna be marrying him. Googling the shit and everything.
Yeah.
So fast forward, he puts them in these... It's horrible what he does to these little girls. Even if he killed them or not, but the ending part is just fucking awful. Mm-hmm. There's no excuse to say anything why the fuck he did what he did. Because I don't give a fuck. The body, so he ends up continuing with work, but what he didn't know was that her friend is just like a fucking crazy bitch. Like, yeah, where the fuck are you at? Like, kind of like how I would be if I knew, you know, if my cousin Nikki, if she was telling me, hey, I got this baby doctor appointment tomorrow and you don't write me, it's kind of different.
Well, and they said that Shannan was acting like weird.
Yes, and this is another thing that caught me off. Like, what if she did kill the kids? This is another theory you can go with because they said that why was Nicole Atkinson, why was she so freaked out? Like, she knew something was happened. She knew, like, deep in her soul. That's not intuition, bitch. That's you thinking that she fucking killed them kids. That's the only reason why I think she would exaggerate. Call the cops.
I don't
fucking
think,
something's wrong.
Listen, do you honestly think that, like, if one of your friends was acting weird and, like, you couldn't get a hold of him, would your mind automatically go and be like, oh, she killed her kids?
It depends on who your friend is. Like, no, I'm saying, like, if she literally wasn't consistent with the kids and you know the husband was, if you knew her, and you know that she probably possibly was only with the kids when they recorded or did live videos.
I think the reason why she was so, like, freaked out from the beginning was because she knew that Shannan had every single day detailed of her life on Facebook, and she knew that Shannan was going to a doctor's appointment after because she dropped her off at 2 a.m. She had a doctor's appointment
at like
in the
10
morning
or something.
I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was in the morning, and she said that she was waiting to, like, hear about the doctor's appointment. And so I guess the time came and gone and she hadn't heard from her. She didn't post anything on Facebook. You know what I mean? Yep. So, like, maybe she was like, something's wrong.
Right.
You know? Because, like, I mean, I don't think it was a secret to her friends that her marriage was
falling apart. Everybody fucking knew. She was telling them, he laid in bed and didn't fuck me.
Right.
But you don't communicate. How the fuck you expect to get fucked if you're not saying, hey, come fuck me?
Exactly.
You're just secretly hoping that he knows. You could tell right there she didn't have communicational skills.
Right. Yeah, so I think...
Yep.
But I don't know if, like, that, like, is where their mind went automatically. They're like, oh, something happened, like, with Chris. I don't know. I just think that... I don't think that her friends necessarily thought that she was going to kill her kids, or that something like that was, like...
Or kill herself.
Capable of happening.
You don't think...
Maybe kill herself.
Or do you think... So you're going with, you think that they knew something was wrong when she wasn't recording, because she always recorded?
That, and I think just the time of the appointment, like...
Coincide
I say, like, okay, like, Nicole Atkinson texted her, like, that morning and was like, hey, whatever, just saying, just checking in. And then, so Shannan didn't write her back. So then the time passed where her doctor's appointment was supposed to happen, and she still hadn't heard from her. So then she calls the doctor's office, finds out that she didn't show up. So then automatically you're like, oh shit, if she didn't show up,
then something's fucking wrong. Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Let's just stop, by the way, and just say how dumb Chris Watts is as a murderer. I know that's probably what people don't want to talk about, but this case was won because, one, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
But do you understand, like, he didn't even try to hide nothing of hers. Left the car there, left the car seats there, didn't think it's out at all. So that's why I think that it wasn't premeditated. I think it happened on the whim. I think maybe, I
think he was planning on doing something with her car after he got off work that day. But I think that her friend
showed up and ruined everything.
Exactly.
She showed up with a fucking squad.
Open up the motherfucking garage.
She even had Sandy, her mom, on the phone.
Well, and that's
she was like, you're going to get in my daughter's house.
When I was listening to you earlier today, she had the passcode to get into the garage.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get into the garage because the garage was locked from the inside.
Ah.
So he had locked the garage. So he had to be there in order to open up the garage.
Oh, okay.
So, Joe Blow, who knows the passcode, can't just come in and get in because it was locked from the inside. So, and
then the cops go upstairs. I just think sometimes I'm crazy and I think, what if all this is just a lie?
What if
What if she never got killed? I don't know. Sometimes I go down like, this shit
was never got killed?
Was like, what if, like, I think, like, what if this shit just was so perfect, if that makes sense? Does that make sense to you? Like, you got the body cam footage, you got the fucking exactly where he was, where she was. He fucking 2 minutes in, it seemed like he was snitching on himself. Hey, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just felt guilty. That could have been that. I don't know.
Maybe she's not actually dead. So are you well, I'm kind of, even though I don't like to admit it, I'm kind of one of those Sandy Hook conspiracy theorists.
Oh, girl, me too.
God, I don't want to talk about it. People get upset.
Me neither. People get really upset.
Yeah, so we won't go there. But,
we're not, but...
yeah.
So, we do know
even if, like, things even if it's like totally off base. And
They
like,
have videos on that because I watched those too.
Still fun, but it's still funny to like, not funny, that's a
I know
wrong
what you're
word to
saying.
use. It's still interesting to like think like, you know, what if, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like Gone Girl, yeah.
Gone Girl. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
God. Okay, so
What if she faked her own death and she's
like pissing him for cheating, but no, her body was dead.
selling skinny tea in Venezuela?
Yeah, she could. She probably fucking would be that one, wouldn't she? She can't be on Facebook that long. She couldn't have been on
That's
Facebook
true,
that long.
no.
Do you
They
think
always
she was-
come back.
Just a question. Do you think she was a Democrat or a Republican?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I couldn't think it. At first I thought Democrat. But then I was thinking, you
part of me wants to say that I think she was a Democrat, but then another part of me...
Do you think she was raising her kids to be snowflakes? That's a critical case. That's fucked up.
Raising her kids to
We're
be
going to hell.
snowflakes. I don't know. I'm going to go with she was a Republican.
That's what my cousin Nikki said, Republican for
That's
sure.
what I'm going to go with.
But
He seems like he would have been a Republican too. But
he seems like he did not care.
he would have been whatever she
Hey,
was.
cars, block, or
Right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think that, he ends up coming back to the house. Police, I'm pretty sure all y'all have seen. Police is there. They're busting him straight the fuck out.
Yep.
He's scared, nervous. You can look at his face like, fuck
one thing I thought
me.
was interesting is that how whenever they were viewing the footage or whatever on the security camera, he didn't say that she was pregnant until he looked over and there was like, it was like on National Geographic and there was like a
baby in
an
the
embryo
fetus, yes.
or something, or a fetus, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he saw that and was like, oh, by the way, she's pregnant. But he didn't say anything to anybody else, like, before that, saying that she was pregnant. Don't you think that if your wife was missing, you would let them know that she was
Oh
pregnant?
my God, yeah. You're going to be like, she's pregnant. Oh my God.
Because that kind of makes things a little more, like, a dire situation.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
But he didn't,
100%.
but that's the thing, he didn't want it to be a dire situation.
No, he didn't want
'Cause
her
he didn't
to
want-
be
'cause-
looked for.
Exactly. Because if...
Yeah, his
She's
ass
been
would have been
looked for,
busted.
then-
Can you believe how many days was it that he was alive? He was out walking around 3-4 days.
It was a few days.
And did you know he also went back to Jenna's house? You know, the first couple that he
Mhm.
lived with, and stayed there. Could you fucking imagine?
He stayed there like...
He stayed like a night there
There
because
goes my
they wanted
laptop.
her to get out of the They wanted him to get out of that house and just relax. They didn't believe that he did it.
Mhm.
Like they was really like,
I
there's
don't
no
think
way.
a lot of people did it first.
Nobody did. But fucking Sandy,
But-
her mom.
Well, her mom
And her
mom
dad.
said that it was the interview that did it for her.
Yeah.
Was that whenever she saw
Yeah.
him on the news interview on the porch, that she knew something was up because that interview was sketchy as fuck.
He blinked 70 billion times.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He did.
He was a dumb.
Only talked about himself too.
Yeah.
You know,
I just
it
wish.
was all about
and they were weird
how
verbs.
I feel and
Or-
how, you know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't even be able to talk. Like, honestly.
he was like, oh yeah, they have a little fucking, I don't even know. I'm gonna say Rugrats, but it's not Rugrats because it's not 1992 anymore.
I know what you're saying.
But they had a little Rugrats couch that they would curl up on.
Yeah, he would just say
and,
weird
and they
shit.
weren't there, and you know what I mean. And I need someone here. I need people to be here. Like, it was just all about himself.
Yes.
And-
Please need me here. And he was doing a weird talking. It was weird. He looked like a fucking alien. I don't know. But I was just like, well, this guy's clearly fucking guilty. The first minute I watched it, it was like, and then that same day he goes in, and that's when he goes in, and they're like, man, this is gonna be easy as fuck.
Right.
We already tell he's sad, so it's gonna fucking work out. So he ends up snitching on himself, telling everything that happened. They call his dad in. He ends up telling his dad, I killed him, but also he tries to say Shannan killed the kids and he killed her because, well, then months later, or maybe a year later, they ended up, he ends up taking a plea deal, meaning he would stay in life. Now, this is how nice her parents are.
Oh, about not doing the death penalty.
She said, I didn't want him to have that on my conscience,
Right.
him to die. And the police did tell him that Sandy and Frank did not hate him, that for 8 years that he was their son-in-law, And that's feelings that just don't go away overnight.
Mm-hmm.
They hate what happened. Of course, you know, I seen them with Dr. Phil. It's devastating. I couldn't imagine. But I don't like how they are always treating Chris's family either. Just because they fucking believe the first thing he said because that's their son.
Right.
If your son murdered somebody, do you think you'd stand behind him 100%?
Right.
I would. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care what happens. I'm going to be behind my kids regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think anybody's like that. That, you know, sometimes. It depends on how bad the situation is. But I think this could be one of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
There really ain't nothing else to do. So, they ended up, during this whole time, Nicole Kessinger, like, basically, when they go missing, Nicole Kessinger is basically like, delete everything. Take me out of your fucking life. I didn't, and then she tries to say she didn't know Shannan was pregnant. Bitch, you knew.
Yeah.
You knew you were fucking him, and he was married. I don't think you knew that they was even going to get divorced or separated. She said she had been to Shannan's house, and she would be like, wow, why do you want to leave her? Wow, but she seems like the petty type, so she was probably being petty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
now that bitch, she also Googled shit about how to get a book deal.
Exactly.
Just crazy shit you should not
She wanted
Google.
to be the next Amber Fry.
I would burn my phone because if you got in my phone, y'all gonna see some fucked up shit. Alright, I'm just gonna warn y'all ahead of time that if you get in my phone, you're gonna see fucked up shit. It's gonna see weird body crime scenes because they're gonna be like, what was wrong with her?
Weird body crime scenes.
But
So what do you think about like the social media aspect of the case, like how everybody's like,
do you have a bad Shannan? You have a good Shannan, or you have the good Chris?
well, I mean, like how everybody's like on her, but they don't necessarily. I mean, they are on him at the same time, but it like you said, like nobody really talks bad about him, about like the type of person he was.
Right.
They talk badly about him because of the crime that he committed.
But
they
before then, you don't hear.
Yeah, but you hear like, oh, Shannan was a bitch. She
oh,
was
fuck her.
controlling.
Yeah, because she had so much social media presence.
She was that.
I think that if he had more, there'd be more to judge. But right now, all that we have to judge off the case is her.
Yeah.
And then people, of course, love to fucking be judge mothers. Period.
Well, and not even just her. They judged her whole family.
They did judge her whole family.
You know what I mean? Like acting like they had some sort of part in that they were trying to capitalize off of her death and and this and that. And
I think if my daughter died, and I would be devastated. I'm not going to be. I don't know. People handle grief different than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're guilty of murder.
I don't think that they did anything that was wrong.
I think that she was I think her parents were dominant, or her mother was dominant. That's what Shannan grew up with. Mm-hmm. I think that that's what she's seen growing up, you know. I think that they're good, wholesome people. I think that his parents are good people. You can't fucking help what happened. And he said his parents still don't believe he did it. Mm-hmm. His parents still don't believe that he killed the kids. They still can't accept it. Yeah. They literally say, and people are mad at them for having that. Like, what's wrong in this world that you can't have your own fucking opinion without somebody telling you you're stupid or dumb or this or that? Oh, if you like this person, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, it's more than just you're stupid, you're dumb. They're like, I want to fucking kill your whole entire life.
Yeah, and they go looking for even the co-passenger. I get it. She was a home wrecker, whatever. I don't think you need to still be following her 3 years after the case. I think she realizes this could be the worst situation you could possibly get into when you have an affair. Yeah. And she fucking got it. Right. She had 2 kids dead and a wife, and they think it's because of your pussy. Could you fucking imagine? I mean, seriously, you're going to be like, what the motherfuck? Right. What the fuck? Like, I'll never pop this pussy on anybody ever again. Because he just killed his whole family for me. Right. And then this bitch has the audacity to delete me. I don't want to speak to you ever again. He said he still hadn't talked to her since that. But she started noticing things on the second night of the phone calls before he went to jail. She said she started noticing how, like, he was just not really tripping. He's like fucking Scott Peterson. But Scott Peterson, I think that he was a little different. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm in Paris, motherfucker. No, you're not. I'm in Paris. It's just crazy. And I think that if Nicole Kessinger could, and she was trying hard as fuck to be Amber Fry. She really wanted to be up in Amber Fry. Mm-hmm. She wanted to be her because she wanted to fucking have that book deal, have, what is it? Where she was recording him. I think it would have went that far, but Chris fucking ruined her plans by going Nicole Atticus, whatever her name is, ruined his plans, and he ruined the other Nicole plans because I'm getting rich off this
Not
bitch.
Today.
And then he said straight up, because she was like, I didn't know he was married, or I thought they were separated. And then today in the things it said, in the tapes I read or listened to, they said straight up, oh yeah. He was like, yeah, she knew. She knew that I was married. She did think at one point that we were separating and stuff. Because I think they are. They even called a realtor. They was putting the house on the market. Why else would she do that?
He called the realtor, not they.
Or no, she called. Yeah, he did it. Called a realtor.
But it was like the day before he murdered him.
Yeah, and he
called
called their school. Yeah. He called the school that morning. Can you imagine kids that show up one time all the time, and then their dad calls, who never calls?
They're not coming in.
I'm withdrawing them,
never
actually.
Gonna be here ever again.
Goodbye. Could you imagine being a fly on the wall, like, what the fuck? You know, if it was me and my old dick, I'd be like, all right, get it. You know, it's all a very sad situation, and sometimes I make light of things, but I think in situations like this, and how I've always been my whole life, I have to find a little humor in some things, because some things are just so fucked up. Because if you sit by yourself and think about the whole, the whole case, it's fucking sad.
Yeah.
Over what? Why? That's why a lot of people cannot handle this case. They're like, why? I don't understand, though. People fuck around on their wives all the time. What? I think it was he's such a people pleaser that he didn't want to let anybody down or to make himself. I don't think he cared about how he looked as looking bad. He just didn't want to make anybody look bad.
Yeah.
Or if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even want Shannan. That's the whole reason why he took the plea deal. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to put people through
a trial.
Yeah. He said he did not want to do that to her parents, and he always talked about her parents. He said, I didn't want to put them through that. I didn't want to put nobody through that. I didn't want to put you cops through that. I didn't want to put any of y'all through that. I just wanted it to be over. He won't even still to this day look at shit about the kids. When people talk about it, he just ignores it. And he also said when people write him, if they're just writing to call him, like write him and talking about normal shit, he writes them back. But if you say one thing about the case, he never writes you back.
It's weird.
He said he gets a lot of death threats. He gets basically a lot of people treated him bad, telling him how to kill himself and all kind of shit. And I'm like, well, you murdered 2 kids. What the fuck? I think.
Right. What do you expect?
Yeah. Like, either way, if you still didn't, and they found a way for you not to, that it really wasn't you that killed your kids, you still killed somebody. You're still going to be in jail for the rest of your life. There's no going out and getting out of this. You're not going to be able to get out. And then that's what he said. His lawyers literally were trying to find ways to get him out, like faulty, being a lawyer, not defending him properly, trying to do all kind of shit. And he's like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I did it.
Well, I'm good. I mean, that's good, though.
Yeah. That's what goes to show why. That's why the mindset of it's so fucked up. Because you're like, why? And I think a lot of people will have that on their brain with this case forever. Like, how can a normal guy go off and kill his wife and 2 kids? And it's not pussy. Pussy didn't do that. He was fucking old girl the whole time with Shannan.
I think he snapped.
Do you think he snapped? I think he
snapped, but I think he snapped before it happened.
Yeah.
He snapped and then he killed him.
Yeah.
He didn't just snap and kill him.
Yeah.
He snapped and then was like, what can I do to fix this?
Right.
And then
I just can't fix it, so I'm going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point to where I think Thrive patches had something somewhat to do, a chemical.
Well, you never know. You don't know what kind of shit's in that.
Yeah, and
stuff.
2 at the same time.
Right.
And he said he had so much energy, they made him feel jumpy and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like meth. And he lost like 15 pounds also in the process. Look how skinny he got.
He did
From
get really
200
skinny.
to something pounds to drop that much weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shut up, Nikki. Halloween, I'll put out that 50, but you better make sure you're subscribed to everything or you die. No, I'm joking. So we'll end the podcast part. I want to thank everybody for listening to us tonight. Say hello to the newest member of Brandon the Killer, Haley, because she will be back.
Handed the killer.
Handed the killer. Yeah. Handed the killer and Brandon the killer. Brandon handed. Shit, I don't know. But you guys have a wonderful night. And Yeah.
Scott Peterson is innocent.
Scott Peterson is innocent. And we'll go into that case one day. I already got a video of it on my YouTube.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Also, you can find me
I
on
watched it, that's
TikTok. I'll say on TikTok, you can find me on Brandon the Killer. On YouTube, you can find me on Brandon the Killer, and you can also find me on Instagram, Brandon the Killer, and that's it, because you ain't getting nothing else from me. Haley, where can we find you at?
You can find me on the south side.
On the south side of the Ville.
I'm on Instagram at Haywees.
Yeah, Haywees.
HAYWEES.
Yeah, you
And that's about it. And you can find me on Facebook by my name, Haley Stingle.
Yes, Queen.
That's it. I'm not on TikTok or Twitter or any other
Yeah,
social media
I'm on Twitter, but not really
platforms.
much.
I used to be on Twitter, but that was a long time ago.
I have Facebook.
I'm not that cool anymore.
Right. What is it? It's weird. I don't like a bunch of ads. Anyway.
It's for kids.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. If you want to learn more, you can always visit those pages, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to know.
Visit those pages.
I sound old as shit, don't I?
For what are your references? You can visit those pages.
Yeah. Where should we go look at? Visit them fucking pages.
Right.
Also, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time and listening to this 2 hour and 6 minute video.
Maybe next time it won't be as long.
Maybe it won't, but I got a feeling that we gotta fucking know. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Now, let's hope that I don't ever...
God.
I'm trying not to...
Please save it.
I'm gonna keep him live. Should we save... Yeah, save it as...
Dusty called me.
He's probably like, where the fuck are you at? No. What's taking you so long? And this is the... I think it was a good podcast.
It was pretty good. Hey.
What did you guys think?
You gonna come get me? What does that mean?
Ah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.